see if I can reintroduce things in such an epic way. I don't know if I can do it twice. Welcome back to Hidden Plays, where we're going to continue our Eclipse Phase one-shot and determine how screwed everyone is.
Game over, right?
So we'll have everyone reintroduce their characters and their thoughts. Knight, go ahead and go first.
Hi, I'm Knight. I'm playing Craig, who is an uplifted octopus, and due to some rather bad luck on the player's part, whilst reviving from the cryopod things, Craig is suffering a certain amount of psychological trauma and has no clue what the hell is going on and is very, very confuzzled. But he also has all the explosives.
He's a heavily armed explosives.
What could possibly go wrong?
Equipped.
That sounds like a good mix.
A psychologically damaged octopus with explosives. I mean, what game doesn't have one of those?
And any game that doesn't should.
All right. Fishy, go ahead and...
Bonsoir, mes amis. I'm playing Genevieve Zenon, CEO of Age of Pisces LLC, who is definitely human, although she is in I forgot what they call them now, but a robotic rather than biological morph. But definitely the person that is in it is completely human and in no way, shape or form an AI. Absolutely not. That would just never happen. It's a ridiculous idea.
Yeah, no, she's just wearing the synth morph as a fashion statement.
That's right. Yeah, she just likes synth morphs. That's all. She's got a long and complicated background story to why it is, because, she grew up in space and it's not safe in space. So all kinds of things could go wrong with a biological morph. So she spent a lot of time in her childhood in an infomorph rather than actually in a solid form. And then when she did have a solid form, it obviously wasn't hers anymore. And it just seemed more reasonable to go with a synth morph, so she wears a synth morph by habit.
You can tell. Sorry, go ahead, Dret.
I just know that somewhere on this synth morph's body there is a stamp for the Hermes logo.
Probably. I was just thinking it's great that she has such a well-built sob story background to allow the excuse for being human.
Yeah.
All right,
She
Joe.
is currently desperately trying to find out, and with the aid of her muse Vivienne, Vivienne is scanning for any anomalous signals, because we do seem to be inside a virtual reality and she wants out.
I'm trying to remember the name of my muse.
Did I write those down? No, I don't think so. I didn't write the muse names down.
Target practice at the moment.
All right, well, it's your turn.
You can say, I was going to say, you can say it's your turn to do people on video conferencing as much as you like.
I was trying to think of your name, and I couldn't, and it's right there.
Hang on. Let me just lower my moral standards and up the amount of chip grease in my voice. That's better. Hi, I'm playing Belle. Now, Belle is a legitimate journalist. He's an investigative journalist working for Martian tabloids mainly, because they're the only ones who publish the real truth. And he's big on exposés, he's big on Martian liberation, and he doesn't like people having secrets around him is the thing. So he does have this compulsive urge to hunt them down and expose them. It has earned him a fair few enemies, but you judge a man by the quality of his enemies, don't you? So Bell is in, he's in a synth morph, but it's designed to look very much like one of the Martian men, the Green Men of Mars from Carter. So that's his raison d'etre. For some reason, this just seems to have really rubbed people up the wrong way. And I'm really not sure why.
I fancy it's about 16% less annoying this time. You must be doing something different.
Trying not to be as annoying as last time. You basically threatened to kill me.
Well, unfortunately, as of last time, Genevieve cannot hear what you're saying anyway.
Can't hear a word of it anyway, no.
No, I know. I'm getting copy pasted through at best. But
All right, Alexia. Oh no, Alexia, there's no sound. No!
Alexia, you're muted.
I'm so.
Both dreamers all there. We the best.
Oh God. Yeah, I'm just happy for the youth today and how full of energy they are. I am Marnie, the grandmother, and well, hopefully soon grandmother.
Oh God, she definitely
yeah,
eats people. I don't know why, but she definitely eats people.
Oh yes, I mean no, she would never. She would never. Marnie is a good grandmother who is definitely not involved with firewall in any way. She's not a spy, and she just knows about words from simple things like enjoying crosswords. She just likes riddles. And her muse, I just decided, is a cat called Magpie, who is modeled after the cat she has at home.
That she ate.
She didn't eat the cat. She just fed people to the cat.
You get really serious penalties if you eat your familiar.
How can you insinuate that?
No, to be
doesn't
fair, no, she
The
wouldn't
friendly
eat the
people. She
cats.
just eats the people who she might have accidentally hinted that she was involved with the firewall act.
Yeah, no one's seen the postman in a week.
I mean, when it all comes down to it, cannibalism, it's all the same stuff
It's
nowadays.
cannibalism if you're a Neanderthal and the other person is an uplifted, say,
Yes, you have
robot
to be really
person,
careful
or
with it
whatever Bell is.
these days, don't you? I mean,
Yeah, it's not really cannibalism if you don't eat your own race, and it doesn't mean that she's eating other Neanderthals.
Well,
No.
I mean, even then, a biological morph isn't
Exactly.
the chemical processes to make the morphs. It's all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they just downloaded the backup somewhere else, and that means that she would never be responsible for eating anybody ever. I would never, darling. What even makes you think that young people nowadays in their odd pastimes?
as long as you pop the cortical stack first, then logically it's no longer a person, is it? So at that point, it's just potential dinner.
Pop the cortical stack and suddenly your Just Eat driver is a walking protein delivery system.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, but then
I mean,
you
true.
order, driver arrives, you eat. That is how Just Eat works,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yes.
That's certainly
Send me up a bellboy.
how it works in World of Darkness.
Oh.
So, on that happy note,
I'm feeling peckish. Somebody call me an Uber.
You're an Uber.
so we left off just shortly after.
Knight. Oh no, Knight got his first. That's all right.
Yeah.
Calamari got his first.
Yeah, I was first up. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
sorry, it's been a
I don't know
day.
about all you poor limb deficient people.
Limb deficient people. People being an operative word.
Well, yes, of course.
People.
So I think where we
I
left
thought I
off
only got 4.
was shortly after destroying the poor robot. Poor robot.
Which is now largely in bits. I have its head, and the was it the portable launcher it had?
Yes.
The portable launcher, yep. and I believe Genevieve has its cortical stack.
Different people have different priorities. Some pick up the weapons, others pick up the cortical stack.
I mean, everybody needs different things. I just needed to know its language, and the little shit fucking shot at me.
You know, when machines go a bit crazy, they go a bit crazy.
Youth nowadays.
Youth nowadays.
No proper respect anymore.
I literally am muted by Genevieve, by the way, chat, for the purposes of just reminding you. Genevieve's basically got her muse filtering out my vocal patterns and replacing it with white noise.
Yeah, people not replacing it with anything at all. It's just blank.
I thought white noise
People
would be
were
easier.
trying to get Genevieve to listen because Belle might be useful, so she's actually going to make a small alteration to that. She's going to maintain the mute on Belle, but she's going to ask Vivienne, her muse, to listen and let her know if he says anything important. So she'll never have to hear his voice, but she will hear his words if Vivienne deems them important.
I'm so sorry about his voice. I really am. I
Don't
know.
be, it's hilarious.
I know. There's nothing. Oh no! The last two voices I've done. One Shard wants to punch, and one Fishy wants to kill. I'm starting to think there's an issue with my voice acting.
Hey, don't worry, Dress.
Juice's rage.
Eventually we'll have voices that you'll want to punch too.
I mean, honestly, they were both constructed as punchable, and you are not punchable, so it's a very good voice acting.
Right. So let's see what we can do.
Was it before or after beating it up that you guys figured out that? Yeah, it was before you got to it that you figured out that you were in.
Yeah.
When somebody shot at it and missed it, and it hit the wall behind, and
I think that was me. I think I missed when I fired because I know I didn't
Basically,
really do anything.
A chunk of the wall glitched.
Yeah.
A chunk of the wall glitched out and then was re-resed in, which kind of basically made us realise it was just a graphics glitch.
Yeah.
Also, I tried to include the glitch in my art that I did post on the One Shot channel in Discord. And, the one that made me late. And I don't know if I did it, but I did my best. So if you see a suspicious hole, that was what I remember.
There's a little hole in the wall.
So you guys, I think, moved down the hallway further because, well, dead robot and trying to go towards the signal after trying to, because Genevieve did something, can't remember what it was an infosec to see if she could connect to and shut it down where you are.
Successfully, I was trying to hack the construct that we're in, and I wasn't having any luck with getting any access to it. But I am, Vivienne is monitoring for any signal anomalies, essentially, in the world around us that I might be able to use. But you can tell she's a CEO because she's not doing it herself. Her muse is doing it.
Of course.
Got a PA for that.
There is an anomaly that is potentially an access point.
Yeah.
But it's farther on.
That rings a bell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember Marnie wanting to talk to the whatever signal was closer because she was like, if I chat to people, I get to find out new things.
That's
in a
true.
very non-suspicious and not creepy way.
And I don't know if we actually had you connect with anyone yet.
I was in the process of setting up a TACnet.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a TACnet between three of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if I recall correctly, I was not muting Belle, or like trying to
he's muting Belle,
connect Belle. No, I was like trying to connect Belle with the whole infrastructure because We kind of need communication.
I have
And-
set Mickey, my
yeah.
muse, up to talk to any signals he can find. Now that we know we're in a construct, so we know there are other signals out there. So I've set Mickey up talking to anybody who's pinging, who responds to his pings, basically, and effectively to sort of take a message and get their ASL.
And you did that before the fight, and the first one that you got in contact with was Johnny Sims.
Yes, yeah.
And then we ended the session with Johnny Sims sending out a, "Oh my God, help! It's coming for me."
I have to say, this is a bit immersion breaking. I will tell you that for nothing.
Oh, I mean, it's a name.
This is wonderful and hilarious, and I love it.
Just quite glad that they don't follow us.
It has nothing to do with them.
Oh, no. It's always
just a name.
disconcerting when you use someone's name.
Perfectly normal name.
No, it's not.
I'm going to name one of these that are here on the station Alexia, and then the other one's going to be Fish.
Please believe me, from someone who knows, don't use the names of your players as character names, even as a joke, because that way insanity lies. And yours, not theirs. Okay, so we got various people talking to various other bits.
Mm-hmm.
What do we get? What do we get from this? And there's an octopus with a rocket launcher, and my brain is still trying to make sense of this.
But that's not the only explosive I have, but don't worry about that for now.
He did send his location, which is further down in terms of the map layout that you have.
Yep. Okay. Right.
And it is a big ring with doors leading inward along the corridor, and occasionally ones that go out that are airlocks.
I have found somebody who's willing to talk to us, so he may be in the same position as us, but he's also in trouble. And I'm thinking that if we help him out, then he's going to owe us at least an explanation, or at least as far as his explanation goes.
Do you know where this person is?
Okay. It comes in bustly and extra bustly. I will, if I've got it on the map, I will ping the map, which will then inevitably bounce and have to get retweeted effectively by Marnie.
It's okay. She can do that. It's interesting.
Look,
to
I'm not in the TACnet at all.
and where what Belle's reaction to this is. It's really nice to just gouge people's feelings.
I don't have feelings. I have sources.
Sure.
He is about 16% less annoying than he was last time. Because I couldn't keep up that level of oleagenius.
Honestly, I mean, Belle said that she wanted to know more about Marnie's days in the firewall, and that's a decision he's gonna regret so much.
Oh yeah, there is a queuing system to exterminate this fork of Belle, even if I play him later on.
Oh no, she's not gonna exterminate him. What makes you think that? Marnie would never.
No. I'll just be walking down the street one day and a bale of paper will fall from a high shelf.
That would not be Marnie's fault. She would never do anything offensive towards another person.
Okay, I am going to pass on the map data that I have as to the location of this damsel in distress. And hope if we can locate them, that people can do something about it.
Okay. Can I compare the location that Belle has come up with the location, if I have such a thing, of the anomaly the signals anomaly that I have detected? Is it in the same place?
the signal anomaly is much further down, but it's in the same direction.
It's in the same direction. Okay, so I'm fine with going that way then. Yeah. I think we could investigate.
Marnie would like to ask Magpie to just look for patterns in the anomalies, in the signals.
Oh,
Like I know there are a bunch of signals, and she just wants to find out if there are any patterns to it.
there are 20 personal meshes. You know of 4 of them because you're connected to 3 of them. And there are a number of meshes that seem solid and others that kind of the signal is flickering or corrupt. And one of those is one that I think I had rolled because you had also had dang it, where did I put the name? Where you also had Magpie looking into it in the same way that Mickey was. And you had gotten a ping back from a Madeline Fox.
Hello, Miss Fox. Is she dubious in any way?
You just get static.
Oh, great. I miss gibberish.
It's not gibberish. It's static, like radio static, which is not something that is typical anymore at all. And there is some modulation in it occasionally.
Actual old-fashioned analog static rather than digital distortion. Yeah,
Yes.
That's weird in this universe.
Yeah, that's extremely.
Can I pinpoint the location of Fox static? Of the static Fox?
So you send a location request.
Sure.
You get request answered, and Magpie basically tells you they're behind us, and it looks like they're coming towards us now. They weren't previously.
Oh shit. Marnie is gonna turn towards especially Craig, because Craig is the friendlier one in this whole gang. And also the hacker man, because she doesn't really know that Genevieve is good at the computer things. And also she just killed somebody. So, she's gonna turn towards Craig and she's gonna go like, you might have a bit of a situation here.
Well, this isn't real. That seems situational to me.
Even if it's not, it's irrelevant. The problem is that, so I picked up some static identified as a fox. Megan, I think?
Madeline Fox.
Madeline Fox. And she said analog static. And also the source of that static is coming towards us.
As it is coming closer, you're starting to make out actual words in the static, but not quite intelligible yet. Almost intelligible.
And also, I think the words in the static are getting almost intelligible enough for me to figure them out, and I don't know if I want that or not. Especially since last time I tried to figure out a language, I got shot.
At the third stroke.
Marnie is still very salty at that robot.
Perhaps head. You have the robot's head.
Yeah, thank you.
Hello.
That's very nice of you.
What is the static you talk of? Belle, is this something you could investigate, perhaps?
You want me to investigate a head?
No, the
Static.
That, yes.
Oh, right.
You can
Um,
share the mesh signal with.
Oh yeah, I'm
With
gonna
L.
I'm gonna share everything. I'm gonna click on share and I'm gonna send it to everyone in the team, including the robot killer.
I don't think that Genevieve is on the.
Oh no, she's just gonna put on a ping request and she's gonna be like, "Yo,
Ping,
no, she's got to
ping.
approve everything.
Genevieve is completely locked down as far as signals are concerned.
oh," and then
Everything's
she's
going
just
through
gonna
Vivian.
tap Genevieve on the shoulder and is gonna be like, "Hey, do you want to hear something really weird that's coming towards us right now?
Why would I want that?
Because it's coming towards us."
Yes, so I need to hear where it is. I do not need to hear it.
Okay, then I'm gonna send you the location information. If not, I'm gonna speak it out loud if you want to, and coordinate, and probably French if you want to. I can do that if you're more interested. Je peux parler français, mais
In the middle of this, you hear
English is quite.
you hear in the static. Here are real.
The time sponsored by Accurist will be ding, ding. Sorry. Apologise.
I just want to send out the message "yes, friend," like over and over again.
Off you go.
It starts coming closer, faster.
Oh,
Friend.
good.
It says, "Friend, so alone."
Oh boy.
Yeah, you know what?
Oh,
I'm
dear.
not entirely convinced this is the way we should be going. I don't think we should be encouraging this to come running towards us, because saying that we're friends, that's kind of assuming a lot on its motives.
It's okay. I am saying that I am friend.
Well,
It
yes.
doesn't mean that you people are friends. It's okay. You are neutral towards it. If not
You're looking
hostile,
behind.
shrug.
You're looking behind yourselves down the way it's coming at you.
Yes.
Cool. Go ahead and roll me some perception.
Balls.
Yikes.
Okay.
Right.
Oh my God, I got the stupid
Perception
dice.
is that just a stat or is there a skill for it?
It's a skill.
Oh, there it is. I got it.
Perception. 50-50. Right, okay.
Yes.
39 out of 50, so yes.
17 out of 50.
And no one commented on the fact that it's a completely open corridor, and yet I'm asking for a perception check.
No,
Yeah.
Hey, I'm confused already.
mate, CLCGM, frankly, I'm good.
So, those of you that did succeed, you don't actually see anything physically moving. You
I
see,
got a 62 out of 90, so I definitely did see.
yeah. So you guys see flickers along the edge of the wall, going across the piping and wiring, and occasionally you see something of a digital humanoid form.
But
And then there is a flickering digital kind of projection of someone standing right in front of you. Basically something along those lines.
friend, look at that friend. Yeah, Marnie is gonna send out something like not safe because glitches are not safe. So she is technically right.
I'm aware that it's not okay.
Would it be...
There's still that static, and it's not you're not hearing anything
Okay.
from her specifically standing in front of you and flickering and whatnot. You're hearing it
I
through the mesh.
What happened
But-
to you? Are you okay?
Not sure. I shouldn't exist out of the machine.
Well, we've got good and bad
oh,
news.
darling.
This is
Did
this
you
is
go
not.
out of the simulation?
No. Is that what that makes more sense?
Yeah, I know.
But you have... Okay. I don't know how to get out. I usually live in the machine. This is an ego that was put in here with you guys, but it's an ego that has an infomorph. They live in computers and they don't ever wear synth morphs or biomorphs or whatever.
Okay.
They completely live in the system.
I see. Oh God, that's a hell of a glitch.
And now it's also in a simulation which was designed for physical representations of morphs.
It must be very uncomfortable
It's
for you.
interesting.
Hello.
Yeah.
It's everybody else doing the strokey beard meeting, and Greg's just there going, "Oh, pretty."
Unfortunately, Genevieve can't hear it because it's only speaking through the mesh.
Yeah, Genevieve.
Oh,
Closed off the mesh, yeah.
yeah. Marnie is gonna ask Magpie to just go. Hun, can you send all of like the recordings of these conversations to Genevieve with, high importance marked on them? Like, keep silent. This is what's happening.
So Genevieve is going to start receiving miniature voice packs.
Yes.
It's going to be like, press play, press play, press play.
Exactly.
Basically, she's getting spam emails now from Marnie.
I mean, she is an old lady.
A lone AI in a system. What will she get up to? Number 7 will astound you. Sorry.
I haven't been able to connect with the others. I think the only reason that I was able to at least be recognizable by you guys was because you found my mesh.
Yeah, the rest are pretty odd so far. We kind of... Would it help you... Would this robot help you? And she's gonna point to the partly decomposed
The array of spare
cabin,
parts that are across the floor.
dead remains
Those
of
parts
the...
are gone. The only ones that are still there is the head.
I think
the useless part
I
of
think
the robot.
the problem would seem to be that this was a simulation of technology within a simulation designed to represent organic reality within a information system. If this is hurting you already, living inside something else that's a simulation of a simulation within the simulation is probably not going to make her very happy.
It's
I
fine.
say her.
I can handle this.
I'm just going by the picture you showed. You can handle this. That's good. Who are
Where did all
you?
the bits go? I left bits. The bits have gone.
You know, the
The bits are
despawn.
gone.
The bits.
What
I've got the head, but the bits,
Oh.
the spare parts, they've gone.
When
got
you
the
stop
head.
Looking,
I've got the launcher.
This
but
simulation
where are
is
the
getting
parts?
weirder.
I'm sorry. What's your name?
No, my name's not what. Where are the parts? There was a torso and legs. I've got the head still.
Okay, calm down.
And I've got this launcher.
Good.
Look.
Every time that you guys look away from something and are not paying attention to it specifically, and it is not you or your equipment, it goes back.
I have to say, this is the shittiest MMO I've ever played.
Somebody's really trying to save on resources, aren't they?
It doesn't come
no
back
decals,
well
nothing.
when it does come back. It's not like respawning in a game where everything's fine.
Point proven, the shittiest MMO ever.
I bet
That
as we
one's
walk...
already been killed by a couple of others multiple times.
Oh, mate. I bet as we walk around it, it actually stays at exactly the same angle. Like the really old 3D games where you walk around an object and somehow it
3D,
turns
yeah.
to face you at all times. Okay.
I've seen others but they haven't been able to contact me. I don't know what's happened to them. This place is huge,
Oh, darling.
but
Well, strictly speaking, I suspect this
maybe
place
you guys
is
can
about
help
this
find a
big.
way out.
Yeah, we're trying to. And can you help us? Want to join up our band of misfits?
Yes.
Oh,
Shard, can I make
Yes.
use of InfoSec to try and dig into the routines controlling the architecture of this?
Of her?
Of
Of
this?
Madeline?
No, of the simulation.
So you can try. It's what Genevieve did. Problem is to get into the routines of it, just knowing that you're in one is a big step up. But you have to find an access point.
I've just realized that I potentially have access to all this information that is going across the mesh, even though I'm not connected to it. Because I was running a sniffer program, and the sniffer program collects all transmissions that pass to, from, or through the device they're running on. I was attempting to run it on the simulation.
I apologize
there you
for
go.
this spam
Considering
even
all
more.
transmissions in this simulation are being
Oh,
fed through to me if I choose to listen to them.
oh.
Or if the simulation chooses to allow you to have all of those informations other than
Oh,
the stuff
yeah.
that's around you.
I think you're just stuck on an advert at this point, Fish.
Yeah.
You've got
So-
an unskippable 45-second
Stream
advert.
keeps buffering. Bastard thing.
I do not want to buy a cruise on the Rhine. Go away.
I just like to imagine that there's like a ding sound in Genevieve's mind every time she gets a message. It's like ding, 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 ding,
I had this
ding.
with my meeting yesterday when I was in Friday when I was in Zoom. Discord just decided that was the time it was going to spam me. Bing, bing,
Oh
bing,
yeah,
bing.
that's why I don't have notifications enabled for it.
Yeah, different server I don't normally use, and I forgot I hadn't muted it. It was like Rudolph was approaching. Ching, 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 ching. Okay, what do we have in the way of computers? Sorry, way of software.
Besides being a robot.
Well, yeah, there is that. No, I'm just wondering about my tracking software. Whether that's purely tracking or whether it's something I can use within a system. But I'm just having to have a look. Sorry, carry on. Ignore me. What part of carry on and ignore me do you not understand?
All of it.
I'm just because I'm wondering about using tracking software to backtrack Madeline Fox's route where to the point where she entered the system. She's an anomaly within an anomaly. It's got to show up.
Tracking.
She's got to have made big ripples.
Yep. This software is used to track people by their presence online. So it's essentially, as far as I can tell, it's a specialized Google search.
Yeah.
Apparently it's on page 251 if you want to look up how it works.
Yeah. I was headed that way. Because I'm just wondering about, she's going to have made a bigger dent in the system than anybody else because she was designed as a, and of course I don't know that Genevieve is. She was designed as pure data.
You don't know anything. I mean, any of you could be an info life if you really wanted to. I'm sorry, not an info life, but an infomorph if you really wanted to. Infomorphs are a thing. That's what we are right now, in fact. We are all infomorphs right at this moment.
But
Yes,
her point of
know
access is
this
going to
better
be different.
than anyone else because basically, you know, I used to have a husband back on Earth, and he's an infomorph now. I don't know where, but he definitely is, and I'm gonna find him
And then you ate
one
him.
day. One day I will. He's gonna come home, and it's gonna be okay.
He's in the freezer.
Am I back?
You're back.
Yes,
Welcome back.
kind of.
Oh, hi, Shard.
Hello, Shah. Useful
Still
though,
can't-
PM sometimes.
Right.
I mean, it could be the VPN, but yeah.
Hey, we got our DM back.
Yay! Because we were just spitballing,
DM,
frankly.
storyteller, whatever the name for this system is, I do not remember name.
Your master and lord will work.
Oh, yeah, our great overlord is back. Hooray.
Sorry, I apologise. That wasn't intended to come out quite so cynically.
All right. So I don't remember if I was talking in the middle of it breaking or if someone else was.
Okay.
I think Drut was. At least for me.
Okay. So Drut was trying to figure out a software type role. I mean,
I'm just thinking in terms of if we want an access port into the system, then finding out where people came into the simulation might work in that regard.
Well,
you could go back to where.
If we lost, why don't we go back to the beginning?
Could do that.
And then there's still this person who claims to be in trouble.
Yep. Haven't heard from him since that last call.
I suppose he might be in pieces. We could go and interrogate the bits.
Rest in peace, friend.
Because if you haven't paid attention to him for a couple of minutes, he might not be there at all. They might have reset somewhere else.
And unfortunately,
his mesh is still online. It's still there. You're just not getting anything from it.
Oh, in that case, I hate being ignored.
He's on mute.
Let's go and check him out. Might be an idea. Get some good credit. It's a karma thing.
I mean, maybe we can find out new info.
Maybe. Well, if you're going to continue down the way.
While we're walking, Marnie wants to find out as much as possible from our new friend, our glitchy buddy, about like her life and like her last memories, because like she knows these three were really different from what she is, but she wants to know if there's a pattern somewhere, basically. Just wants to find out what the hell she was doing, like what were her last memories and like her last backup, whatever.
My last memories were being in the satellite system that I live on, orbiting Jupiter.
Do you like remember doing a backup?
No. My whole consciousness was in that satellite.
Oh.
Data in one place. Okay.
Huh.
It's like extreme sports for AIs.
Did you have like a synthmorph buddy, or were you like also an infomorph there?
I was an infomorph on the satellite, collecting information.
That's interesting.
Well,
That's interesting.
Would Infomorph do anything other than collect information?
I'm sorry?
Would Infomorphs do anything other than collect information?
Bear in mind, infomorphs are people, just like everybody else. An
Yeah.
infomorph is just somebody who doesn't currently have a physical form.
Some of them
Yes.
build sim space playgrounds, some of them program, create new AIs, some of them are scientists.
Run
And Craig is still brain
companies.
fucked after waking
Yeah,
up.
so I suppose he is, isn't
Yeah,
he?
fair, fair.
Okay.
I think I have some good news. It's not very good news, but it's good news.
Yeah.
I think the system is automated.
Think that
You
we
think
might
what?
be there.
Oh, it doesn't take very. This conversation happens fairly quickly, and about 5-10 doors down, one of the doors to the left leading in is actually ripped open, like exploded open, as if something tore. Well, parts of it are out, parts of it are in, as if something tore through it with claws.
So what information is it that you think you have for us, Genevieve? You sound fairly certain.
I do not have information. I have a conclusion from the information which is available to us all, more so to perhaps to you than me, because my mesh is closed. this system is almost certainly almost entirely automated.
So, no actual people running the show. No external intervention. It's purely
and
set
not
up as a
automated
fire
well.
and forget.
It has been automated by somebody who did not put a lot of work into the system.
Now, is that someone didn't put a lot of work in, or has it degraded since it was instituted, do you think?
How am I supposed to know that?
You can't
No,
see the thing with
actually,
claws yet.
I will answer
Oh,
this.
okay.
It is poorly. It was poorly implemented in the first place. This is not degradation. This is a part of the way the system actually works.
Do you think it's an off-the-shelf gig, or do you think it was done by someone who doesn't know what they're doing? Cheap
I
or
would
crap?
suggest both.
You guys are so adorable.
Murder flirting is back.
Well, I will confess that Bell is flirting with being murdered every time he talks to Genevieve.
Exactly. It's
Yep.
perfect.
So, the door leading in is basically ripped open and pushed open with claws and brute force. There's no blood. Corridor leading to another door further down that has been thrown off of its hinges. And Madeline's like, all right, if we're going to go deeper into the station this way, it's possible to get further in faster, but things will change and we will not be coming back to the corridor. No one that's ever entered one of the rooms has ever come back to the corridor, but I have seen them other places.
Okay, well,
Since
that's
I don't have a physical
endearing.
body,
So they're like warp cores, warp zones.
Why can't we come back?
I think it's part of the simulation. It's just a new level or stage.
So we can't go to where we woke up.
No.
Yes.
Oh,
Am I the only
If
one
there
looking
is
for some
anything
kind of
behind that.
rotating symbol indicating saving and loading at this stage? Do not switch off your simulation.
see, I'm glad you went there rather than where my brain was going, because my brain was going, we're in a room that's surrounded by a whole lot of other rooms that keep moving
Yeah.
around.
No,
Oh.
no, that grossed me out. That film, I should like it better, but no,
First
I
one
think
was
it's an
very
awesome
good.
film.
it was very good. Still
I'm
grossed
not
me
going
out.
to get that bad, but it's a good idea. I'll keep that in mind.
No, it was the acid. It was the someone getting hollowed out. That was just no.
Oh yeah, that was nasty.
That was not a good one.
You hear gunshots. They sound like shredder rounds and a scream and then a crash further in.
Do you think it's the simulation making us curious? It would be an idea. You know, I've seen something like that back in my firewall days. So, like, there was
Ears ping. If I had ears, they'd prick up.
yeah, so like there was this weird underground mob army. I am not allowed to say what mob. Like, so we had to get some information. It was kind of classified, you know, in some ways, and we had to retrieve it. So here we are, surrounded by the mob, and I wonder, we did a distraction then. One of us actually risked their lives, which was pretty badass. I'm not saying it was me, but not saying that. You know, we knocked somebody out with completely non-lethal reasons. We would never hurt somebody. And we took their uniform. And then we just snuck up your corner, put in a few sticks of dynamite, and you know dynamite, right? It's a bit old-fashioned, I know, but some of us like it classic. And then we just
Dynamite. It's like a weak version of
yes. Here's the thing: it's weak enough to
this
not
super
cause.
thermite.
Yeah, exactly. But
Did you
it's
just
like
say
it's
this
less.
super thermite?
Yes.
Belle's retreating 2 paces involuntarily. And ideally putting either Marnie or Genevieve between him and Craig.
I did say Craig had all the explosives.
I just like the idea of Belle hiding behind Genevieve.
Well, that's not good. Well, I suppose this is technically Belle can hide in front of Genevieve. Because if Belle steps behind Genevieve at any point, Genevieve will turn around and have her back to the explosives instead.
Now, will Genevieve fully turn around, or will she turn her head all the way around?
No, she will actually turn around. She would rather put her back to the potentially dangerous sounds of gunshots and explosives and things than to Belle.
I feel so loved.
We all love Belle so much. Yeah, so like, your stick of super thermite. So like, we use something less destructive because we don't want to destroy the whole complex before we find out the whole information. So then, we put the dynamite in, we wait for the guards, we time it up properly, we hide in a cupboard, and we wait for the disaster to happen. And while they're all busy with the carnage, we just slip in, take our information, and get out. You know what I'm saying? You catch the drift of my story, right?
I lost track somewhere around the dynamite, I will confess.
Genevieve's seriously considering putting Marnie on mute as well.
What now?
At which point, the only voice he would hear is the heavily stunned and concussed octopus.
It's the walking calamari.
But then she feels an affinity for the octopus.
I mean, the octopus is the only one of us who's not a terrible human being.
Yeah,
Also, the main purpose of Age of Pisces LLC, her company, is to provide opportunities for uplifts and info life. So the uplift here is the only person who she feels any affinity for at all.
I am a Neanderthal, so technically I am somewhere on a line of things that do things.
But that's just a morph, though. You weren't born a Neanderthal.
I mean, true, but
she might have.
sometimes
Well,
I just like my fashion.
But
You know,
for
she was-
she was a victim of a B movie. Was awakened in a cave somewhere, having been frozen for million years.
Oh no!
That movie.
Hundreds of
Oh,
thousands. of years.
you're where they got the Neanderthal genes from.
Ah, that's it. Now we know.
Yeah, they've lost it really
Also,
well,
the
although they do come
Neanderthal-
pre-shrunk.
The Neanderthal morph was around on Earth before the fall, so it is possible that she could have been born a Neanderthal from those. If her parents were Neanderthals.
I didn't realize that they actually bred. I'd assumed that they were all constructed.
People can. There are people that are born, and you can actually. Yeah.
But I had assumed that things like the Neanderthal morph, which is obviously an artificial recreation of an earlier life form, were
Usually,
highly artificial.
Usually it is, especially up here in space.
It's
but
still a fair assumption, however, that
yeah.
you're not going to
Oh,
meet many, are you? Naturally
No.
born Neanderthal morphs.
And this current morph definitely wasn't born because the way that she escaped the planet was not in her original morph.
Well, this current morph is purely a simulation anyway, so...
That is also true. That is also true. So, are you guys going to go in, carefully or otherwise, or are you just going to whistle and walk on by?
Oh,
Let's go in.
After you.
Oh yeah. Is that too just towards the crashing and not towards the distortion, the anomaly? I am.
Okay, so in terms of the anomaly, it is an access point or something that looks like an access point, not an anomaly. I know it's been talked about as an anomaly because searching for signals that are anomalous, but it's not an anomaly. It is a point that should be somewhere that people with infosec and whatnot try to hack into the system.
Someone with exploit software and infosec might just be able to actually do some good.
That might be quite useful, actually.
Not thinking at all that that's been Genevieve's plan from word one.
Oh, it would never.
But you were just told that it would be faster to get to the farther end of the station through here, but you're going to go through a series of changing rooms as you go through.
No, screw that shit.
Not shifting rooms. Basically, the stage changes. She doesn't know exactly how, but she's seen the stage change when people have walked through, and then they're gone.
I have a concern.
Oh, good. Just the one.
If the symbol space is altering as we go and preventing us from moving backwards, and moving us perhaps into a different iteration of the software, and we move into a room, if we move to a different iteration of the software, I might lose access to the access point that I have located.
Conversely,
I'm just going to point 2 tentacles at Genevieve.
Conversely, let's see if I can get the voice. Conversely, if you're present and in the system when the new iteration's loading, could you backtrack the access for the new software from where it's coming from and follow it back?
I'm just trying to think how Vivienne would have passed that information on to Genevieve.
Yeah.
Because I have a suspicious feeling it might have come out as he made a silly suggestion. Ignore him.
It's a perfectly reasonable suggestion.
It was actually a very smart suggestion. So Vivian might be almost as annoyed, but it is still a suggestion that she would put across.
If you're not careful, I'm going to have to tell everything to Mickey and get Mickey to pass everything to Vivian.
I mean, I say that it's a smart suggestion.
Tell her.
Yeah.
Also, if it's even worse, I can just employ the cat to help the two muses talk to each other. You know, if you need a talking cat in your life, along with the weird old lady.
You weird old cat lady.
Cat, actually, when I was young.
What it is to be rich.
Was it a robot cat?
This was when I was an infomorph, and the cat was also. It was an art. I suppose it was an artificial pet, but it was a purely digital artificial pet, which is the same space where I lived as an infomorph when I was a young child.
Do you remember cats?
You're
pets?
I'm sure I said this. I'm sure I taught this on an interview actually a couple of years ago.
Yeah, everyone's nothing further. It doesn't remind you of old times, then.
As I said, you could probably look up the interview if you want this information.
I probably did the bloody interview. Right. Sorry. Belle is so getting deleted. Deltree star.
Just to try and move things along a little bit quicker in terms of understanding and making a decision.
Sorry.
The two of you that actually have a ping on the access point, I need you to make an infosec roll just to see where it is now with you being here.
That is successful and a roll of 52, which I believe the actual roll determines margin of success, doesn't it, in this game system? Your margin of success is how
margin of
higher
success.
you roll while successful, the better, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's a 52, which is successful.
So while the access point didn't move, while you were walking down the corridor, you didn't get any closer to the access point.
Mm-hmm.
It's It's still in a specific direction from you, and that direction is the doorway is between you and that access point.
Yeah.
As you were going around, you should have had some noticeable connection to it. It should have moved off and gotten closer. It's behind in the direction of the door.
We're completely isolated from that access point at the moment, and we can move around this particular part of the civil space as much as we like and never get anywhere near it.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, then I suppose we go through the door.
Fine.
God, it's fun to push you guys.
Yeah, now you know how I feel. This is why I'm prone to chasing people out of rooms. Something carnivorous or an entire environmental collapse is extremely useful in making them make a decision.
Oh yeah, the people who spent the whole session studying the bathroom.
Yes, the people who spent an entire session in the loo.
Oh.
You walk into the corridor.
Vivienne will wave towards the door, looking at Belle. At people.
I'm afraid I am a mere chronicler of this
Yeah,
life.
Marnie is gonna go through the door.
Exactly what she said.
No, she's not gonna say anything. She's just gonna walk through.
As you guys walk through the door, the ones on the outside, you see them for a minute as they get into the corridor. And the ones on the inside, you're in the corridor, and then things change, and then you see them disappear.
Can I follow them down through and see if it takes me to the same place?
You're going to go in next?
Yep.
Same thing. You walk in, you see a corridor, and you will see what happens. But everyone that hasn't walked through yet sees you disappear. So
Data or keys are locked.
the infomorph actually follows as well.
At any point, did we see a cat go past the doorway twice?
I was assuming what we've got at the bottom is just in all our fields of view, we've got this white bar that's slowly making its way across the bottom. Very slowly, with a little spinning hourglass next to it.
Loading, please wait.
Yep.
Loading, please wait.
Yeah.
Do you both follow in as well?
I do.
Okay.
I will follow in after Belle
Yeah,
has gone.
because we're not going to sit there going, "Were you after you? No, after you. No, after you."
Oh, I would have loved to see that. Just like half an hour later,
No,
Belle and Genevieve
no more than 5 minutes of that before I put a bullet through his head.
Finally, it's been a while.
So the order then is Marnie, Craig, Belle, and then Genevieve.
Yeah.
As you go through and things resolve around.
Marnie, Craig, was it Miriam? The Info Life.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I forgot she went into. Yeah, Madeline.
Madeline, that was it.
It's very easy for me to forget about my NPCs because I don't really care about them other than to be killed. So
I feel that way about player
I
characters.
just remembered Fox because it's just I'm bad at names.
she's a badass investigator. But you don't know her story, and she's not going to tell you the whole story because she's also a spy.
Really? Oh, that's fascinating. And I'm sure we'll have plenty of time to have you explain that to us. Tell us. Unburden yourself.
Oh yes, totally.
What's through this door then?
So things resolve fairly quickly, and you step out into a large cafeteria with cornucopia machines lined up for 3D printing food and other items you might need to eat the food. There are tables thrown everywhere, and as you're looking around, everyone else is coming in behind you. you're going to need to probably roll initiative. You see two things. One, you see this thing.
Could you put it down a bit?
That doesn't
Come
look
down.
pleasant. It's
That looks
Deadpool.
red.
Down. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
That's
Deadpool.
Deadpool. But not in any copyright infringing way.
It's
Oh, no, this
it's
is not-
Deadpool but evil.
I've just
This
realised
is-
chat isn't being
What do you mean
shown.
Deadpool but evil? That's like saying Hitler but evil.
Yeah, exactly.
Deadpool's a psycho.
But he's a comedic psycho.
Yeah, being funny doesn't stop him being a psycho.
And then you
He's one of
see,
the highest innocent death tolls in the Marvel universe.
I mean,
and then you see someone who's jumping over tables trying to get away from it with their mask off that looks basically like that.
oh, what
Isn't
a
that
good
the spy in Star Wars?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why he's being chased, because they found out that it was him who told the Empire which docking bay the Falcon was in.
There are big slashes in parts of his armor. One of his arms is hanging limp. But he is trying to run from this thing. And I will allow the first two of you that went in to have a surprise round to go.
Ooh.
Sounds like a takeaway.
Yep.
Yeah, this thing is fun.
Uh-huh. So
The ex-human predators you kill with prejudice.
Oh.
That's the big red thing, is it?
Yes. I don't think you've
Hey.
ever seen one. You've probably heard about them, maybe stories.
This seems like the perfect use for a
Oh.
launcher.
Yeah.
Oh, also in
yes.
terms of that change, sorry, I forgot. When the room shifted from the corridor to the room, you're no longer experiencing the effects of the confusion.
Oh,
Interesting.
Threshold.
A little bit of a reset there on effects.
Mm.
Heck yeah.
reaction at this point is still the same. Just it's a bit more thought out this time. Oh,
Is it just the effect that has dissipated, or the actual?
He still has the stress. It's the effect that dissipated.
I just have visions of Craig now. All his spare limbs are looping around like chairs and tables and things, so that the
brace for the
backblast
attack. Yes.
doesn't knock him all the way back to the
But
door.
don't forget though, sucker pads as well.
Yeah.
So like loop around the table, sucker pad to the floor.
Sucker pad to the floor, sucker pad to the ceiling. Yeah. Yep.
Eat rocket launcher, red beastie of doom.
Craig is such a good child.
I like Craig so much.
The black portion of the red skin is basically diamond armor plating.
That's nice.
So what you're saying is I need to aim for the red portion of the red skin.
Oh, armor is armor. This thing is ex-human, a person who decided that they no longer were part of humanity. This is not transhuman. This is someone who has basically tried to turn themselves into the most efficient and brutal predator ever. They can breathe just fine walking around in space without a spacesuit, and are not affected by the vacuum.
I think this guy features in the Bastard Legion series by Gavin Smith.
So what,
Oh
what,
my
what am I needing
God.
to roll to try and
this-
hit this thing with this?
Well,
What's
I
the
think
code?
that the single-use launcher is just straight firearms. I don't know if there's a special skill separate for. I mean, you've got kinetic and you've got energy. This would be kinetic firearms if you've got a skill related to
I have a
kinetic.
kinetic weapons.
Okay,
Yeah.
kinetic weapons
Ah.
it is.
45 out of 55.
Nice.
All right.
Rocket launcher, you diamond skin son of a glitch.
I don't remember how much that did.
You didn't give me any damage stats for it, unfortunately.
I thought it did an end, but that is not a problem. Speaker, disposable, firing modes, blah blah blah, 1 ammo. Tell me how much damage you do. Come on, it's not that hard. Alright, well, I'm gonna say that it had a plasma burst grenade in it. So
Oh, nasty.
after
well.
I roll for Frey, you're going to do 3d10 plus 10 damage, and it's -6 to armor.
So how many
Sounds
D10
useful.
did you say?
3d10 plus 10 is what damage it's going to do if it hits. It's a plasma grenade, so it's going to basically splash a whole bunch of bad shit everywhere.
Yes.
This is like casting fireball into a 10-foot radius room, isn't it?
This sounds a lot
Yes.
like casting fireball into a 10-foot radius.
It very much is.
Marnie has some regrets. She rolled-
This room is actually fairly large, don't worry.
She rolled
No,
a
it's fine.
70.
This is happening before you come into the room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, she was the first.
Marnie and I were the first
person
two.
to
Marnie
enter
and
the
them.
room.
No, it's before
yeah,
we
sorry, you
come
are
into the
you
room.
two
You're
walk
in
into
there,
the
aren't
room.
you?
Yeah, you
We're
two are
fine.
okay. Marnie has the
We're
regret
good.
because she rolled 78 plus 9, which or
Where is my
whatever.
Frey?
She has a 9 in it, and she rolled a 78. So I don't know what that adds up to. Because I don't know if it adds up to how does this system work?
Oh, I forgot. These things do cause stress.
Oh,
Forgot that part. So, luckily, it doesn't have a Frey skill, apparently. So it just takes it. I'm going to say it just takes it because I need to give you guys some sort of an upper hand with this thing.
That's endearing.
Where's the armor it has? Go ahead and roll the 3d10 plus 10.
$26.
Great. Where's your freaking armor? You stupid piece of crap.
He's not wearing any, and he turns into a piece of paste on the floor.
Oh, that's what his armor is. His armor is 11 kinetic, 11 energy. So, yep. So that was, you said 26? He takes 14. And you
Uh-oh.
you get a plus 10 to your unarmed combat.
This is a good thing.
Okay.
I have a reasonable a moderate unarmed combat skill as it is, so I'm happy with that.
Are you ever unarmed? Really?
I mean, stealing skills is fun, right?
Hmm.
Okay, so that's your go. Unless you want to move and try and hide after you lobbed the plasma grenade.
No. How much of the conversations that happened prior to me changing room do I remember? Do I remember all of them with absolute clarity?
Yes.
Then absolutely I'm not hiding. Because if
Okay.
this is a simulation, and it very much seems to be, the result doesn't matter because I'm not me.
Unless you are. Because your ego could be in the simulation.
You. It's just whether
You
you're.
are you. Genevieve postulated that that you guys are just copies of the original you, but
Yeah.
you don't know for sure. So it's up to you.
Yeah, but no, I'm not going to try and take cover because I have a backup plan.
Fair enough. All right, Marnie.
Marnie takes cover. She wants to hide under anything that she can find that is hideable under. She just got shot at.
I mean, that happens. All right.
She won't go friend. She will just go, fuck this shit. I am ducking.
It turns towards. It turns toward Craig and roars. So you guys are going to need to give me some initiative. I'll do the stress test after the other two get in there. And so you guys can go ahead and roll me initiative as those two walk in.
Remind me how we do initiative?
It's a D10 plus your init score, INIT. It's under stats.
14 for me. You did say D10 plus in it, didn't you?
Yeah,
Well,
but I was
7
looking...
plus 7.
Okay.
I rolled a 7. In it is 7.
So you got 14. Yeah, you had that last time.
Freaky.
Yeah.
Now that I finally calculated my initiative properly, I have a 13. Heck yes.
Nice.
I forgot that she's a scary lady.
Go ahead, Fish and Drut. Go ahead and roll initiative for me as well.
We get initiative? Okie dokie. We will roll initiative.
That's where you're going to come in when you come in.
Sorry, I completely have brain glitched there.
8. I'm coming in really... I mean, you can tell I was really hanging back to let Belle go first.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's... remind me how...
In it.
It is a D10 plus in it.
Yeah. In it.
My init's 20. No, that's my initiative. No, it isn't.
Hey,
No, it isn't. It's 7. It's all right. It's all good.
So you got what?
Brain frag. 12.
Hey, you had that last time too.
I feel like my muse is smarter than me.
Anyway, no, a cat's going to walk across Fish's
I
screen.
mean, isn't that the job of a muse?
Hang on, Fisher. You're not saying my girlfriend's muse is smarter than me.
Oh, that's... I haven't listened to that in a while.
Yep.
Do you guys want to know what the Predator rolled for initiative?
I'm hoping
I
it rolls
really
well.
don't, but I've no doubt you're going to tell us.
Yeah, too much to hope that it was blown to
21.
bits. Fuck
Yeah,
off!
Yeah.
Quite high.
All the way?
I can't physically get that.
Me neither. The
Mm.
best
no.
I could get is 17.
If you were on drugs, you could.
Well, unfortunately, hang on a minute. Have I got...
Everyone,
You
what have I got on my character sheet?
I seriously need to access this SimulSense. I need to be able to make changes, and I need to be able to make them fast.
Make me admin. Click.
Yeah.
Well,
Yep.
keep in mind, you did want to do InfoSec stuff while the transition was happening, which is
Yes,
why you're
this
watching
is-
for what
This is
happened.
true.
Yeah.
Actually, I should have thought of this sooner, but I'd forgotten that I could do it. She has a multitasking implant,
Okay.
which means that she can, I think for a number of hours, I can't remember how many, she can literally clone her brain and to do two things simultaneously.
Yep. She can do hacking tasks and
Yeah.
attack tasks, kind of thing.
This is my thinking. Yeah, one of them is observing what's going on as she comes through and keeping herself safe, and the other one is looking at the data
And hacking.
seeing if she can hack.
Yep. That's perfectly fair. All right.
In AI.
So that isn't bad. He gets... What's 9 plus 6? God.
9 plus 6,
15.
15.
15.
Oh, thank you. I can't math today.
That's okay. Don't worry about it. There's a lot of it around.
All right, and Fox. Fox gets... Not so good. All right, cool. So the first up is the Predator. And it moves freaking fast. It turns, whipping around, its tail barely missing, presumably Johnny.
This is now what he's called. He's presumably Johnny. All one word.
Of course.
Yep. Capital P.
Um,
Missing presumably
and
Johnny.
it launches itself at you, Knight, attacking you with its claws. And unlike you, it actually gets 3 attacks because it has a speed of 3 as base.
Whoa! Jeez, this is nasty.
He strongly dislike this.
How do I dodge?
Now you attacked on a surprise round. You could
Pull up onto the roof. Oh.
you could do a full defense. I don't know what full defense is. Oh man. Basically, you dodge by using your whatchamacallit skill. I'm just trying to find it on here. Fray. So you should have a skill called Fray.
It's about 8 down on mine.
It's based on.
Nope, I don't have fray.
Oh, that's fun.
I have unarmed
So-
combat, but I don't have fray.
So presumably that will default to reflex. Is that reflex? Presumably there.
Yes.
Actually, coordination. It would
Hey?
default to coordination.
Frey defaults
Coordination
to
times 3.
reflex.
Well, Fray is listed as a reflex skill on my character sheet.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That's fine. So
Have you got
reflex
free
times
running?
3.
Could you give that a go?
Reflex times 3.
I've just got
Yep,
an urge
but
for parkour.
I got to roll
octopus.
to hit you a couple times.
No, you don't. It's fine.
He's also going to have a really high skill, so he's going to hit.
Yeah, well. Honestly,
Everybody...
if he didn't have the armor, you probably would have gotten extra skills other than just the 10 for the unarmed.
Everybody think high thoughts at his dice.
No, no, that
No,
missed.
no, think low thoughts.
No, high
No,
thought.
high.
Oh.
No, I'm just working on the assumption that you're going to make it. So therefore, we want you to make it with a really low number.
So that I
so
can
that
dodge
the
with a higher
roll
number.
can be beat easily.
Look, I messed up his first roll for him. Can you give me a minute to focus on the others?
So, do you have armor? I forgot. It should be
A
a
thing
number
called
slash a number.
I have armor.
If you don't have any extra armor, then the clothes that you're wearing is a base 4/4, I think.
Can't see anything that indicates. Oh, there we go. Armor. 4/6.
4/6. Okay, cool.
If you have more than one source of armor, do they stack?
Yes, if they work
Well, I
together
like it.
properly.
Oh dear God, I've just seen what my armour is. Nobody let me get hit!
I was
I'm
assuming they do, because
squishy.
otherwise it seems pointless in wearing
And
armor clothing.
does the
when you're
chameleon
wearing
coating
steel
make
wool.
any difference?
It allows you to hide.
It doesn't make me harder to hit at all.
No,
Damn.
unless well, does it? Yeah, only when you're hiding. When you're seen, it doesn't help. So it does manage to get real close with a claw, so you'll need to roll your reflex times 3.
Yes. 44 with a reflex times 3 of 45.
Okay, yeah, that's really good. Luckily, I rolled a 1, so that easily beats it. Its skill at hitting things is 70, so
Jesus.
even fraying at 45, he could have hit you. So yeah, he comes at you and swings twice with his claws and then tries to bite you with that terrifying mouth.
Oh, I don't
But
know.
misses.
I don't know if this will work in combat, but moving quickly, you still have a modifier to being seen or noticed when wearing chameleon.
I did launch a
Okay.
rocket at him though.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just
Yeah.
thinking it basically will bugger up your outline,
Mm-hmm.
so it'll make you harder to hit in that regard. It's like
I'm
trying
going
to
to say
attack
he was
the
harder to
predator.
hit just simply because plasma to the back is not cool.
Well, no, it's quite hot. I think that's the definition of plasma.
All right, so next up is, okay, I guess it's Johnny. What's Johnny going to do? He's going to turn around and
Presumably, Johnny.
Also
Hold on.
regret his life choices. Like the rest of us.
Yep. I'm regretting the life choices of whichever incarnation of me it was who put me in this situation.
Is he wearing a suit or is that just his natural skin?
it's a suit.
It is a suit, okay.
The arms have got tattoos, so that's natural skin, but the suit is, this is an Earth survivor. This is someone who lives on Earth. Don't know how they got an ego like that in here. This person has not been on a space station.
So we find out it's actually cosplaying.
Huh?
Is he wearing a helmet at all?
He's wearing a full-on rebreather gas mask tied to a tank on his back.
Rebreather, gas mask.
Yeah, well,
You look at him and you hear "To Tame a Land" going through your head.
Oh, I thought it was the other. I thought that was the guy that was running away.
this is the guy that was running away. This is Johnny. This is
I mean,
presumably.
I'm talking about the Predator.
I think
Oh,
that
the
maybe
Predator? No, the Predator doesn't have a mask.
Predator is just disgusting.
Yeah, just straight up disgusting. I'm just trying to figure out what weapon I want to use. Yeah, Johnny turns around and pulls up an automatic rifle with one arm and leans it on a table and starts just laying into, or trying to lay into, this creature. Now that it's distracted.
At least we won't have to talk to him because he's going to get his own head beaten in with his own severed leg in a minute.
Yeah. You need to stay there. Where am I going? Oh, right. Damage of rifles and automatic fire, blah, blah, blah. I just want to see. Hey, Fishy, while I'm looking up the actual damage of this, can you look up single shot versus semi-automatic versus full auto for what that does? I think it's you can choose armor piercing or extra damage.
Sorry.
What?
Not you, chat. It's
Nah.
okay.
Firing mode and rate of fire. 128.
Yeah, semi-auto, burst fire, or full auto.
So, semi-automatic weapons can be fired twice with the same complex action, each shot handled as a separate attack. Burst fire, 2 bursts may be fired with the same complex action, each handled as a separate attack. Burst may be shot against a single target or against 2 targets who are standing within 1 meter of one another. So logically, that means that 2 bursts would let you shoot 4 targets with burst fire. That's kind of cool. In the case of concentrated fire against a single target, you can choose either a +10 modifier to hit or a +1d10 DV. Full auto, 1 full auto attack with each complex action may be made on a single target or up to 3 separate targets within 1 meter of one another. And it's a +30 to hit or +3d10 DV. And you've got 10 shots.
Yeah, he's gonna do full auto for damage.
Hope it doesn't hit me, given that I'm close.
I mean, he just wants this thing dead. Where is your skill for fireball? Okay. Alright, well, he's going to use one of his Moxies. Reverse that, because that was a 95.
That sounds not like a good idea.
Mm-hmm. And so, you said 3d10 on top of?
Yeah, for full auto, that's 3d10 on top of the normal DV.
Great. And it's -9 to armor, so that'll be fun.
I wonder if it's possible to shoot at the bit that's been blown away.
8,
The bit that was melted by plasma.
12,
Yeah.
14.
Should be easy enough to spot. It's the big burny bit.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, so that's going to be 42. Your armor is way too much. I hate you.
Hey, you gave him the armor.
Yeah, I was going to
Hey,
say. You don't get to whinge
All
at
right,
the NPCs.
so It takes a crap ton of damage. It takes 30 from just tearing into the back, because this rifle has -9 armor piercing, so great.
Yikes.
Yeah, it's shredding into the back of this thing. It's mad. So now it is Ray.
It's gonna be.
Okay, sorry guys. It's Knight's turn.
So this thing's currently looking at me, having just tried to slash bite me. It's not wearing any sort of
Old
mask.
school AD&D monster.
Yeah. Bite, claw, claw.
Claw, bite.
Yeah.
You say it's not wearing any sort of mask.
Nope. Its mouth is full of teeth and a tongue, and it is roaring. It is a very
I'm less
creepy.
worried about. Actually, I'm very worried about the teeth. But face area generally is a prime target for things like ink.
Yeah.
Because either it's going to taste bloody awful and be distracting for a few minutes, or I'm going to blind the bugger.
Go for it.
Can I squirt it with ink and then?
This is the best.
And then try and hide like.
I just
Shut up.
thought you were gonna do a whole face hugger.
Is there an explanation of what your ink does on your sheet, or do we need to look it up?
We're going to need to look it up, I'm
Hang on a
afraid.
minute.
It just says ink attack.
Ink attack.
Oh, that's not how you spell ink.
He come from? Can you remember?
Okay, ink.
He comes from the core rulebook.
Core rulebook.
That's not actually.
He's a scavenger.
helpful. Ink attack, blinding, use exotic ranged. Apparently. Which is on 142. Yeah. So, yeah, exotic ranged is what you roll, and it's a blinding attack.
Okay, there we go. Ink attack. It does say ink attack blinding. I just missed a bit in brackets.
That's right. I'm just looking up blinding now as a term past the obvious.
I mean, yes, fish. That's fair. I'm not very good at managing mechanics. Just throwing things at people. So
I'm the same shot. Whenever I run, I rely on fish for the mechanics of it, because I misremember them anyway.
Yep.
So, does that count as a melee attack?
It's exotic ranged.
Exotic ranged.
I've got a specific skill for it and everything. Exotic ranged ink attack.
Okay, shoot it.
Please hit him. I've just read what it does.
39 out of 40.
Oh, have some.
It does not make its fray. So, yeah, it's blinded.
It's now getting -30 to its combat rolls.
Which, to be fair,
That's
is
a good
still...
thing.
Yeah, to be fair, that's still about on a par with anything else I can throw at it.
Hey, turning a 70 into a 40...
What you need to do now is go up to the ceiling, turn on your chameleon, and hold your breath.
Basically, that's me done. I now want to hide.
Yeah.
All right.
Squeaky bum time with
take
the
cover and
Yep.
climb the ceiling.
Hell yeah.
Sorry.
No, Drut's just reading my mind. That was exactly the plan. Whenever you see them in nature, it's like ink, soon they're somewhere else.
Yeah.
They practically
Oh, yeah.
teleport.
Definitely.
Yep.
All right, Drut, you're up.
God. Okay.
Oh wait, sorry, Alexia's up. You're not going through yet.
No,
'cause they
that's
did roll
fine.
high.
Yeah. Heck yes. So Marnie will not do anything offensive because she's squishy. But she wants She has an inkling suspicion that these people, because they're both from Earth, and they shouldn't be here. They shouldn't have.
No, the predator is not from Earth.
Not
It
the
is
Predator, but the Johnny simulation. Might be not a person. So she has that moment of can she detect patterns like between the predator and like
you're
the
reaching out to see if there's
human?
meshes there.
No, she wants to look at them, just look at them and like their general body language, and she wonders if she can spot how do you call it, glitches, like uncanny valley stuff that would indicate that
All
they're
right,
not
that would be
real.
a kinesics roll.
I think I have that.
You should.
I mean, oh yeah, I do. I do.
It would be two separate kinesics rolls, one for Johnny
Yeah.
and one for the predator. The one for the predator is going to be at a -30.
I mean, the one for the predator is not gonna happen because I have a 30. So
Well, you can never have less than 10, I believe.
I failed the first one. I got a 67, and I have a 30. I cannot pronounce that word.
Kinesics.
And the other one is a 57, so it is incredibly failed.
No, they seem just as real as you and the rest of the group.
I'm now looking up
Marnie
kinesics.
is confounded in the noise. Also, she ducks even better. She just, I don't know, slides under something. Just.
Marnie
Go-
does have a gun, doesn't she?
She does. She's also an old lady. She's squishy. She can detect patterns. She can do the bullshit. She doesn't do the explosives in the whatever Genevieve Hackerman does, and Belle's freakish shooting skills.
Okay, so you're hiding. You're hiding from this thing that is in pain and raging. So, Drut, it's your turn. Technically, Fox went through before you, but she's just stunned as you walk through into this
I love-
scene.
Fox going like, what the fuck?
Yep.
What the fox?
She's spending her entire term trying to work out whether being an infomorph with strangely a physical presence, is she vulnerable to damage or not?
We'll find out. She doesn't even know. She's normally... So previously, she has not been able to communicate with anyone else.
Okay. Describe the thing to me.
Stands about 7 to 9 feet tall. Can't remember which one. I think it's probably about 9 feet tall. Red skin, black armor plating, 4 fingers on each hand, with the end in sharp, some sort of diamond. What is it? Monofilament claws, diamond teeth. It's got a big old mouth for biting.
Right.
And it's got a tail, a long, thin tail that looks like it could stab, and might be poisonous.
Oh, good. There's something.
There is some good news.
Yeah?
The good news is, if it's 9 feet tall, it counts as a large creature, and you get to do a d12 damage with this longsword instead of a d8.
Unfortunately, that's not how that works.
Right.
Yes, Mickey. Diamond teeth.
Heck off.
The diamond teeth sound really impressive unless you put them alongside the monofilament claws, at which point you think, yeah, worry about the claws.
Just worry about the everything.
Yeah, the claws do have more armor penetration.
I think
Yeah,
we're at
but-
the point of worry about the everything. Like, I think even its fucking eyes have something offensive on them.
Oh,
At the moment,
It
they've got
does look
something
like-
very offensive on them. Octopus ink.
it does. It does have octopus ink all over its face. Forgot to describe that. It does look like it's taken a heavy amount of damage, but that it's not reacting to damage in the same way normal things do. So, someone with medicines, for example, can ignore the first wound and not take the -10 penalties. This thing can ignore the first 2 wounds and not take any penalties.
Jesus.
Hence why it hasn't fallen down yet, and you haven't noticed. But it has. It obviously has taken damage. There's a big old plasma burn on its back, which.
It just makes it look even more metal.
Mhm, mhm.
I just imagine this predator being inside his head like, hell yeah, I hope it's gonna leave a scar. Oh yeah. Can you imagine? I'm gonna brag to my predator friends about how cool I am. Oh yeah.
Speaking of spinners, Knight, it's got those spinners on its ankles.
This
So,
isn't-
Drek, what you
this
doing?
is fucked if I know. I have, however, just ascertained that smart dust is incredibly cool, but not for this. This is not my bellywick, mates. I am so not designed for combat. Although my best combat skill is unarmed combat, but screw that noise.
Maybe you could just talk it into submission.
Well, it's intelligent, isn't it? I mean, it's lost
If
the
you-
plot. There's a human under there originally.
If you
Isn't
keep
there?
talking to it, maybe it'll rip its own throat out in preference to listening.
Jesus.
You see, you joke, fish. But I was just looking at my
Only
deception.
half.
I am legitimately considering a vocal option.
Just trying to annoy it to
Yeah,
death.
Verbal combat.
yeah.
Good
Yeah.
luck with that.
But okay, from what Belle knows about such things, is there an intelligence there, or is it just someone who's gone murder, death, kill crazy, and there's nothing?
Is it a
There is an intelligence there,
Mm-hmm.
but it is an intelligence of a person who decided, you know what, I'm going to make myself the most apex predator. I don't talk to prey kind of mentality.
No, that's
Shoot
fine.
first, take what you want.
What
There is someone
this-
to talk to.
the-
There
what
is an
this
intelligence there,
is-
but
Yeah. The thing is, what this is this is just some little edgelord who's basically got his hands on the highest tech he can. And
Yep.
instead of pissing people off on message boards, he's now there proving that he's well-ard. So I'm going to kick him in the ego. I am going to see what I can do with deception. And I'm looking to see if I have psychology. Actually, it might be persuasion, but they're the same level. I want to see if I can indeed confuse a little bugger.
Since I found this character sheet the other day, I keep getting his voice pop into my head.
Yeah.
And I just... What you're doing right now, that is exactly Celebrant, except that
Yeah.
Celebrant would follow it up by ripping its throat out with his razor
Yeah.
blades.
I'm just trying to decide how social combat is going to work in physical combat in Eclipse phase. We'll see. I'll make something up.
Okay. So, yeah, it's either going to be... It's not going to be intimidation, because that's not what he's doing. It's going to be either persuasion or deception.
You see, and people complain about the blather skill, but there you go. There's times when you need it.
Yeah.
So long as you can blather in 6 seconds, because that's how long a round is? No, rounds in this
also-
move way faster. It doesn't matter.
Also, I have kinesics, so I can read his body language to see how this
Yes.
is working.
I'm really, really regretting that I don't
Yeah.
How on earth can you be a CEO and not have kinesis?
Yeah,
Because
I don't know.
you're an AGI. AGIs are not
I'm bad
good.
at it. I know. Yeah. Actually, I'm not, because I've got the
right,
AGI
you got it.
socialization trait. So
Yeah,
actually, I'm not bad
right.
at it. I just haven't apparently taken the time to learn it.
Fair enough.
Hang on a
Genevieve
minute.
is so valid.
Presumably, she has people to do that for her.
Okay. I am moving to the left, but I'm doing it in a casual way as I speak. Basically, I'm trying to move my point of view away from Marnie and Craig, i.e. directly in front of the door. Because if he's going to be looking at me, God help me, then they're going to have more chance of being able to catch him unawares. So, I understand this is a difficult time for you. Perhaps you'd like to explain your point of view in the whole situation, given that you're not real at the moment. I understand that might be something of a shock, but perhaps you would like to just give a few words for the tape? Along those lines. Directed at Snarly McPredator Face.
Okay.
And using, as I said, either the persuasion or deception skill, probably persuasion.
Your success at this is going to determine whether it actually even pays attention to you saying anything.
Oh, you don't get to ignore Bell, because he will just act like the stone in the metaphorical shoe.
You do if you can mute him.
Yeah, shut up. Still couldn't ignore me. He is someone who's there going, I know something that will get on your nerves, for 8 hours straight.
So what'd you roll?
I haven't yet. Give me a sec.
Oh my gosh.
Just picking up my dice. I've got my Dayglow dice. Which, oh god, yes, actually are. Okay. This is going to be horrible. I'm so... Well, you're going to be free of Bell when I get turned into sushi.
I mean,
Surely I'm the only one that can be turned into
Yeah.
sushi.
I'll tell you this, Drut, if you get a critical success, I will actually allow you to do a D4 point of
Stress.
psychic damage.
Nice. Take lucidity damage. I personally think that every time that Bell opens his mouth, people should be taking lucidity damage, but that's just
Not
me.
get that far.
Even you take lucidity damage, but it would be silent lucidity.
Yes.
Unfortunately, it doesn't have a lot of lucidity to begin with, so it's cool.
The poor little thing.
That you're hiding from.
Oh, the massively
Yeah.
cyber psycho killer.
Equal to or less than, yeah?
I'm sorry?
So I am
Equal to or
loving
less
it.
than.
Yes, equal to or less than. The closer to the actual number that you roll, the better.
Uh-huh.
Did you get an equal to?
Uh-huh.
That's a crit.
No, it's not a crit. It's
is it not?
it's only a crit if it's double numbers
Oh, yeah,
underneath.
that's right. Double for
Now,
crits,
if
that's it.
if the
No.
equal is
just as good as you can roll
Yeah.
and not be a crit,
Yeah.
basically, isn't it?
It's bang on his 50.
it's basically an exemplary success.
Yeah, you see, Bell can be apparently annoying in any kind of format.
Oh, Belle.
Even in the middle of a firefight, it can be annoying enough possibly to distract the psycho killer.
That's what I'm trying to do. The thing is, Bell actually isn't quite as bad as I've been playing him.
Honestly, Marnie, probably in the moment that Belle decided to act as a meat shield, has decided that Belle is friend-shaped. So, at least you have one ally.
Yeah, the thing is, if anyone tries kinesics on Bell, what you read in his body language is not necessarily what he's presenting. But nobody has.
Well, he's also a big machine.
I didn't say it was easy to read.
Yeah, kinesics doesn't work well on synthmorphs.
That's one of the reasons he's in it.
All right.
It worked.
Yeah, hello, Tentacle Tail.
Yeah.
So, because you did succeed so well, you now have an extra 10 in free fall skill.
Okay.
You hurt his feelings so good. You actually did
I
damage.
actually hurt his feelings. Okay, well, that's different.
And that's, when I say
Now
you
I'm
hurt his
dead next
feelings,
turn.
he's turning towards you
Yep, that's
and
fine
not
by
the
me.
gun.
Yep, that's fine by me.
All right.
I say
Fish.
fine.
You're coming up behind, and you see
I'm
you see
annoying
this
someone.
nest.
I'm annoying someone into submission.
And I will allow you to make your hacking and then also shooting if you're going to shoot moves before making everyone take a stress test dealing with this thing.
I am indeed going to be both hacking and shooting. If I aim, does that affect both my shots or only the first shot? Because semi-automatic I can fire twice. Or in fact, I can burst fire with this, can't I?
I think aiming and shooting in the same round ends up being a complex action, and I don't know if that would interfere with the duplicated. Stupid games with books that we have to read and not actually play.
Control left.
Aiming is a special case in that it's a quick action that requires a degree of concentration that rules out other minor actions. You wish to aim before making an attack in the same action phase. Aiming is the only quick action you may take during that action phase. And aiming has what effect? Aim shots. Character can sacrifice their other quick actions to concentrate on targeting a ranged attack and receive a +10 modifier on the attack. You can also sacrifice an entire complex action to fix your aim on a target. In this case, as long as the target remains in your sights until your next action phase, you receive a +30 modifier to hit. So you can spend a whole round aiming to get a +30, or you can just do a quick aim for +10. But yeah, what I'm not sure about, and it doesn't really help me reading that.
I think what it means.
If I can fire twice, I'm going to guess the aim would only apply to the first one of those two shots.
See, that was my initial thought, but because it's burst fire, is what you're doing basically. It's double tap. But then again, the aim would get fucked up by the first shot. So
yeah, I'm double tapping either way. It's just whether I'm double tapping single shot or burst fire.
Yeah, we'll say that the aim only applies to the first shot.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. So let's see. If I burst fire, I'm using a total of 6 shots, but I get either an additional +10 to hit or a +1 d10 damage value. I think I am going to burst fire, and I think I am going to quick action to aim, burst fire twice, going for the +10 to hit both times.
Great.
Okay. So first shot. This is based on my somewhere here. I must have kinetic weapons. So with the bonuses to hit, I've got a 75. And that's not very good, but I think I'm going to spend Moxie on that.
Okay.
Yeah, because that way it's 59 if I spend Moxie on it, which is a rather better result. And I'll roll to hit on the other one before I
All right.
damage, if that's okay with you. So I've got 65 on the second shot, and that is a 30. So hit with both shots.
Oh, I got to fray the second one too. Yeah, no, both of those shots were above their fray roll, even though they would have succeeded.
Huzzah.
So both hit. It's got kinetic armor of 11. Do you have armor piercing with
I
that
do.
gun?
-7 armor
So,
piercing for the heavy rail pistol.
all right, so it's gonna still have an armor of 4 against whatever you hit it with both bullets.
Okay. So, I have got a damage of 2d10 plus 6. So the first one is Oh, that's not bad. That's 20 less its armor. And the second one, nowhere near as good. 16 less its armor.
So that's 12 and 11. Sorry. 20 minus 4 is 16, so it's 16 plus 11. Yep, okay. So, you actually end it.
Nice.
Straight through the head. One shot hits it, bends in the cranium a little bit, and then the other one goes in.
Yeah, but I nearly emptied my clip doing it.
Yeah, you know, that's what you got to do. So,
Yes.
At
If you
least you
want, you can
succeeded.
get my gun.
you guys are still going to have to do a stress test, but first I need to give Fishy some... so you now have a skill.
Oh, yes. Weird. Now, doesn't
You
it?
have, yes, you have an exotic melee weapon skill related to having a tail sting, which you don't have, but suddenly I feel like you know how to use a tail, and that's going to be at 20.
Shake your tail
And-
feathers.
You have a skill using claws, which you don't have, of 20.
Is that also an exotic melee weapon?
Yes.
Yeah, got that.
The next time you go to for a manicure, you're going to be asking for the
I mean, you
extra
can
long.
always cut the hands off and just wear them like gloves.
Oh no, so that if I can actually manage to hack this thing and alter the symbol space, I'll just grow them.
Oh, good.
I would love to see that.
The advantage
Look
of being
at
in VR is
me
that you
and
can
that
do
Marnie.
anything.
True.
Just Genevieve turning into this freaking monster.
Oh no,
Well,
she's
yeah,
not changing
she
shape.
was.
She just it's because you shot at the robot earlier. It's that same thing.
Yeah.
The transfer of skills when you do
I
damage,
think-
when you do
Yeah,
enough damage,
I
you get
just
extra.
love the idea of like Marnie hacking into the cyberspace and just turning into the most anime sort of disaster monster possible. Just grows a tail, grows giant claws.
I mean, who
Shiny
knows? This
for
could
some
be a
reason.
coliseum where you're all supposed to kill each other until one of you absorbs everyone else.
Yeah, it could be.
Highlander.
I've been waiting for Genevieve to experience this because up until now she has no idea this is happening.
And
She's got
she
the
just
first experience of that.
She just got one of the worst egos to steal skills from.
Yep.
Well, she had one of the worst egos
know.
anyway, so...
What I am fascinated by is the fact that this was apparently actually an ego that I could steal skills from. Because I half had it in mind that this was a construct and part of the civil space.
Yeah.
Yep.
In which case, was this dumped in just as a guard, or was it dumped in as one of the prisoners?
I don't know how the hell they got it to dump it in here.
Carefully.
Everything has a
Hell of a
cortical
lot of
stack.
traits.
Yeah.
Everything has a cortical stack.
Everything has a cortical stack, and these things at least have to breathe.
Yeah,
at some
Marnie,
point.
before like everyone else, gathers up their shit and puts down their giant guns, is gonna go and get the thing's cortical stack.
Oh, Johnny comes over and helps. And by helps, I mean he stabs into the brain multiple times to make sure it stays dead, and then into the spine with his kukri style knife.
Oh, she doesn't really care about like if it's dead or not. She
Oh, he
wants
does.
that thing. Oh, yeah, of course he does. I don't. I just wanted Soul to get into responsible hands.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Speaking of cortical stacks, Genevieve,
Yeah.
you got to finish your turn with the attempt to hack while you were walking through.
I'm rolling infosec, aren't I? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so my infosec is 80, and I am getting a result of 32. Not a particularly good roll, but it is a success.
Jory, that's freaking amazing. I love it. Oh my god. I'm just not seeing this.
Yes, that nearly killed me.
Ah, yes.
It's in art and creativity night. I don't know if you saw it.
Oh.
brilliant. So good.
Oh man.
It's getting to the point where I think we're going to have to reintroduce the little fan art gallery section at the beginning of streams that we had during the first Swords of Slaughterdeep, where everything came from Meki, but we were bringing up Meki's fan art every couple of episodes.
Yes.
Fair enough. So, what's your InfoSec score?
My InfoSec score is 80.
All right.
Cool. Shouldn't be able to lose that roll.
No, I didn't. I rolled a 32. I made it.
32. Great. So describe to me how it is that you try to hack into systems when things are changing. What's it look like?
What's it look like?
Are you broadcasting and doing it with your brain? Are you typing on a device? Are you...
Yeah, I mean, as things stand at the moment, I'm doing it with my brain because I don't have a device to use for it. But my brain is connected. My brain is in this system. So essentially, as we come through, because I know that we are changing from one simulation to a different simulation, a connected but separate simulation.
Yep.
I'm relying on the fact that it has got to effectively resend all of the data and rescind the previous set of data and rebuild the new reality as we come through. And I've got exploit software and sniffer software. So between those two, I reckon I'm scanning all of the data transmissions involved here and looking for any weak point, anything at all where I can just maybe either pull out some data that I'm not supposed to get or insert some data that isn't supposed to be there. Any weak point at all that I can find that might let me get behind the front end, so to speak, and actually get at some of what's behind it.
I'm going to describe what it basically looks like, and then we'll determine what that data is or access is that you get. So it's a really weird thing because I don't know how often Genevieve tries to do InfoSec inside of I don't know how much time she actually spends in simulspace ever.
I think the idea that she was an infomorph
for a long
in
time.
Her early days is probably genuine, but whether she ever tried to hack it is another matter. So she's probably never done this.
So for a minute, your perspective basically turns inside out, and it gives the appearance as your perspective turns inside out that you're imploding. But then all of a sudden, you're basically seeing this facility and arcing at the facility from somewhere in the outside that hasn't resolved yet because you're not looking at that. You're looking at the facility because that's what you're trying to access. You have the entire layout, and it's actually not that big. You walk into one room, and then it shows where you guys are. You can see that. If you go into the next room, you'll end up back in the same kind of room. It's like a holodeck situation. The piece of information that you get, I'm going to give you a couple. The first piece of information you get is, as you go through them, you will catch up to what you can see is other dots in the facility. And at the center of the facility, the more of those dots that you get through, the people, the meshes, the closer you'll get to that access point. The tool that you now have is you do have some limited, we'll call it system magic access, but nothing that is directly connected to. You can actually alter certain things by making a roll on InfoSec to create a barrier or give you guys extra weapons or whatnot to fight something, or make a hole in something. You can do limited system magic, but you can't leave, and you can't look at what's at the outside. And when you think of what's on the outside, you actually look around the station. And all you can think of is images that you've seen of the firing of the neurons of an actual flesh brain, because you're basically human. What would you call someone who loves humans? Wants to be one.
Human file?
Humanophile.
A
Humanophile.
I'm making the assumption that you're a humophile because you're doing that.
Up to a point, but yeah.
Right.
Me.
You have a deep, at least some interest in it. You have an understanding what a human brain looks like.
Yeah.
And the impression that you get is that you are in a simulation, a simul space that it has been programmed into someone else's mind, which is active and aware of you. And as you realize that it's aware of you, it pushes you back in, and you uninvert.
Okay, that's definitely fucking weird.
Are you gonna tell us anything about this?
Well, in all fairness, at the moment I'm busy shooting this guy in the head.
Oh, the wonders of multitasking.
Yep, multitasking is such a cool ability.
It is.
I just love how one of you is just getting this matrixy trip, and the other one is like in a Call of Duty, like.
His brain hasn't recombined yet, or her brain hasn't recombined yet.
The part that's shooting doesn't know any of this because they are completely separate copies of her at the moment.
And the part that's seeing all of this hasn't seen the thing that's being shot at yet.
No. Good point. This is a really bad time to be multitasking. Am I going to get stressed twice?
You're going to take some extra stress. Yep.
Oh, well. Wow. There's always a price.
It's okay. You got a really good trip because of it, so whatever.
I did promise that I was going to make this a creepy game.
You did.
I hope I'm holding up at least to, sub Drut level.
Oh, I think you're getting very close.
A challenge, right?
I think Drut can teach you a thing or two about the creepy descriptions, but the actual content, I think you're there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, creepy descriptions I got to get better at. I can see that. All right, so
I don't know. I'm good out.
as your brain comes back together, Genevieve.
Yeah.
You're gonna. Oh man, that's gonna suck. Freaking out about two different things at the same time.
Yeah.
So
it's good that you're definitely a person. Totally human.
I'm trying to remember.
Originally biological egos can have multitasking as well. It's not just the eyes. It's a lot less common.
So yeah, give me a will times 3.
Will times 3. Okay, that's 60, and I roll more than 60. Whoops.
Great. So that's going to be 10 stress from seeing the creature, and then I need you to roll will times 3 again.
Just to confirm for you that, that's higher than my trauma threshold. Oh, would you fucking believe it?
That doesn't sound
Even
good.
if I spent Moxie, this one is not going to work. That's a critical failure. That's a 99.
All right, so you're going to take the full 12 damage then to stress for that. I don't know what your trauma threshold is.
8.
It's 8?
It's 8.
So you take, what was the total there? 20?
But how this works? Do I take the the two of them together, or do I basically both of them are higher than my trauma threshold? So do I take trauma twice and then compound them when they remerge?
The way that I'm going to do it is it's just going to basically compound when you reemerge. You're going to get the full. So you're basically getting 2 traumas. Same thing I did tonight. You're going to take a medium trauma instead of 2 little traumas. We'll deal with that in a second, as I get other people to roll their stress for just having to deal with.
I'm rapidly running out of lucidity here, guys.
I mean,
when I go mad, I hope one of you knows how to hack us out of this.
When you go mad, I know Belle is gonna shoot you.
you could always try. You could always try psychology and psychosurgery to heal some of that stress. You're in a cafeteria, maybe get some food, rest for a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, you can do that.
There's beer.
You can just
You know,
come-
actually, there are possibilities here now that I think of
Yes, there are. Think about that so that you don't just go insane. So
Oh,
who's
it's okay.
next?
It's gonna be an impromptu therapy session with Marnie.
Yeah.
I am
I don't
trying.
think that's what it's going to be.
I am trying to find the stress on the character sheet, and I am failing. as usual.
Stress is a general term. This is lucidity damage. So in the
Yeah,
stats rather than
lucidity is
aptitude,
the damage.
the third number
Yeah.
LUC is lucidity.
LUC. It's right next to TT.
LUC. Okay, good.
And the number
TT
before that, TT,
It's the trauma threshold.
yeah,
Mhm.
that's how much you can take in one go without taking trauma.
Oh.
So-
In my case, if I take up to 7 points, I'm okay. That's what last time I took 7 points, so I didn't get any trauma from it,
Yeah.
I didn't get trauma from it. But, however, this time I've taken way over the 8 points, and so bad shit happened.
Yeah, Marnie is a bit shaken up as well. My lucidity.
Well,
was
I didn't
40, and I
give
rolled
you
a
the-
94.
Oh, you rolled a 94. That's not a critical fail, though.
Yes,
So you're going to take.
it's not, but it was bad.
You only take 5 stress. Because I rolled bad.
Okay, then I don't get a trauma.
Still hate me.
Given the luck that I've had in earlier rolls, I kind of feel like I need to show you this one.
Is it a critical success?
If the camera's not
It's not.
focusing,
It's not focusing on the numbers,
it's-
unfortunately.
it's 30, which is exactly my lucidity.
Hey,
Heck yes.
it's will times 3 that you're rolling against. Lucidity is the actual value. Will times 3 is what you're rolling against.
Will times 3. Will is.
It's probably going to be
Oh,
higher.
Will times 3 is 45. I'm
Yeah.
dead on safe then.
Okay,
Cool. I'm way safe.
you're fine. You're
Yeah.
fine. Everything's fine.
So's I take it I am as well, yeah?
Yep.
45, and I rolled a 44.
You,
Plus my
well,
dice.
if you had any missing lucidity, I'd give you 2 lucidity back because you critically succeeded.
Yay!
But you're not missing any lucidity yet.
I'm not, so this is a pointless waste of a really good roll,
Yep.
as is my life.
Don't you love it when that happens?
I think I look around and I go, you know what? I've seen worse.
I mean, you did just insult the thing.
I just insulted the thing, not to death because you shot it to death, but I insulted it hard enough that it actually went,
Yeah.
ow!
Distracted it enough to let me shoot it in the head repeatedly.
Yep.
I just imagine Belle doing a happy dance.
I mean,
I don't.
this
I mean,
must be
everybody's like,
like an ultimate teamwork action.
Mhm.
Blind it, distract it, shoot it in the back of the head.
Exactly, yeah. I wish we'd planned
Yeah.
it.
That is probably one of the best ways to deal with these things.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, God, I've got visions of Belle doing the Running Man dance now.
yeah.
Oh, no.
Marnie and presumably Johnny
You're
are
welcome.
hacking into it, trying to get to the cortical stack, which, strangely enough, is not on the neck of the spine. It's actually built further up into the skull, where it's more protected and harder to get to. It takes a lot of hammering and breaking.
Yeah, I just imagine Marnie is letting Johnny do the hammering, and she's just gonna be like,
I think for the moment, Genevieve is just standing in the doorway where she stepped in and opened
right.
fire, waiting for the shaking to stop.
I almost
And
forgot about that.
wondering what disorders she's picked up.
Yes, disorders. At least they're not permanent. Well, that's what happens. You get permanent ones when you drop down to 0 lucidity. You don't just fully go mad. Not yet.
Relief.
Yeah. Technically, you're not actually. If I'm reading it correctly, I was just skimming. You're not actually losing points from lucidity. You're building stress points, and it gets really, really, really bad if they hit double your lucidity.
Mm-hmm.
They're bad from the moment you hit lucidity, and they're not great if they come in over your trauma threshold at any point.
Yeah, 0 is not the end. There is always further madness.
Yeah.
Why can't I do counting or alphabetical right now? Jesus.
Need a hand with that?
I'm looking up traumas to see what would be suitable for her. Because traumas are fun. What? I had a freaking bookmark. What the hell? All right, so here's the thing with healing of traumas. Maybe it's... Yeah, that's healing wounds. It's not trauma stuff. Blah, blah, blah.
I know that my stress heals naturally once a month. I can make a roll. And I don't think I'm going to find any psychotherapy in here. So
Oh yeah, you can.
I am wondering whether I can just, since I've got limited access to the symbol space, whether I can just give myself a month of sitting quietly doing nothing so that I can make an immediate lucidity recovery roll.
That makes sense.
So,
You are gonna find psychotherapy and psychiatry.
I mean, I could theoretically get psychotherapy in here, yeah, but it would have to be already in the system, and then I would access it, because otherwise I would have to build an entire new psychotherapy
Or indeed just have a session or two with Marnie.
protocol, which would involve me knowing psychotherapy skills so that I knew how to program it into it, and knowing symbol space programming, which I don't actually have. That's not a thing that I do. I do programming, but not symbol space.
Sure. You would need to learn
academic
that.
psychology, so maybe I could do the psychotherapy part of the programming.
speaking of the whole psychotherapy thing,
Yeah.
with the remerger and the information that you just gained, I'm going to say, because you learned that you are a simulation that is running inside of an actual biological brain,
Yeah.
I'm going to say that's an intrusion. So I'm going to... You actually gain some skills from whoever that brain is by doing that intrusion.
Okay, now I'm hacking the brain that we're in. Brilliant.
You have 10 points of training in psychosurgery.
Yes. It's only 10 points. At all. We like that.
The brain still has 90, so it's fine. Ooh, no, I don't want to do that to you. That's just mean. This one though, for someone like you, echopraxia. You involuntarily repeat and mimic the actions of others around you. Not constantly, but
Well, that's a thing.
you're freaking out so hard, you just need some stability, and you find that stability in mimicking others because it makes things a little bit more real.
Do Craig.
Don't do Craig.
How are you going to do Craig? Are you going to cut your arms in two?
No, I'm not going to do Craig. Honestly, there is only one logical target for this, because it's the person who, other than the dead killing machine. has been foremost in her mind at various points through this.
no.
It's going to have to be Belle, hasn't it?
Oh no.
Who else is
Yes.
it going to be?
Oh.
This is the next step
There's
of
an
the murder.
immediate backlash on her previous behavior.
Oh no.
Yes.
He's going to
Hey,
assume.
you know,
He's going to assume
it's-
that you're taking the piss and attempting the mirroring
Okay.
technique for hypnosis.
First it was murder flirting, and now it's
Mimicking.
mimicry
Now it's
flirting.
mirroring. So,
Yeah.
yeah, murder, flirting, and mimicking, they go together, absolutely.
She's going to have to kill him just on general
I mean,
principle.
true murder flirt mirroring is when you kill somebody in exactly the same manner as the person that you're mirroring.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, dear.
So yeah, it's been stressful. You guys gonna? I mean, Johnny hasn't said anything.
Yeah, Johnny and Marnie are a bit busy.
So the mesh that you had with Johnny previously, the connection was actually strong. It's kind of sputtering, and that's why you weren't hearing him call, because there might be some damage to his mesh insert, possibly. I mean, it's still there trying to send signal, but there's nothing there. He gets off the body, walks over to one of the cornucopia machines, and dials in frickin'. You guys might not never have seen this, but it appears in a yellow wrapper. And it's basically, I'm not going to even describe it. It's a McDonald's burger, and a large Coke, and a large fry. And then he takes it to a table, and he sits down, opens it up, pulls his mask off. You hear some hissing.
Pulls his face
Although
off.
she's primarily focused on Belle, this is the first person who's actually done a thing since she got the echopraxia, so Genevieve is immediately going to go and dial in a burger.
Belle is basically watching with a.
Yeah. As I understand the way the echopraxia will work, it is the people around her, not specifically
Yeah.
one person.
Yeah, it's
But
whoever she
Belle
sees.
is going to be the primary influence. So assume she's probably, to some extent, mirroring Belle, unless I've said she's doing somebody else. Right now, though, she's having a burger.
Not just a burger that was wrapped in a paper wrapping, marked
Yeah.
with yellow.
Well, I'm going to sort of let myself unsucker from the ceiling and go back down to the floor.
I'm just going to AFK briefly while while I'm eating my burger. I should be back in a moment.
Well, that was a thing.
That happens, yeah.
Is everyone okay?
I appreciate you guys coming. I didn't think. I've had to deal with a couple of people out here. Oh man, thank you.
I'm Craig. Hello.
I'm Johnny.
A pleasure to meet you, I think. Do you know where
Oh.
you are?
I'm not on Earth anymore.
We're not in Kansas anymore, no.
Well, not on Earth is a little bit of an understatement. You're not actually physical at the moment. How does that make you feel?
And we're gonna have to wait for Fish to get back.
Fair?
You just asked one of the worst questions and said one of the worst things to a person from Earth who is on threat for Titan machines and whatnot, downloading him, doing whatever. Paranoid
I missed what was said there.
Paranoid survivalists.
Oh,
In
God.
my defense, I hadn't quite appreciated
I
that.
just love the fact that Johnny Sims is a prepper.
No, not a
That
prepper, a
explains a lot.
survivalist. This is not someone who was prepped before the fall. This is someone who just figured out how to survive in a really
No,
bad
this
place.
is Mad Max.
Post-apocalyptic prepper.
Yeah, this is
Sorry.
Mad Max. This isn't the guy
Yeah.
with the bunker in his basement. This is the chap who wanders around in leather in the high-powered car.
This is the guy who's really annoyed because they wouldn't let him into the vault.
Yes.
So this is the guy who's just marginally less douchebaggy than the douchebag we just killed.
Now,
He has
honestly,
an
I
80%
don't think
chance of once
that
having owned a dog.
no one outside Earth would actually believe that there are survivors down there. Some have ideas that there might be, but you can't see in, you can't see out. So that mistake is perfectly legit, and it's not something you would have thought of.
Also, like, nobody knows that there are survivors on Earth.
That is correct.
Nope.
There is no getting in and out.
Apart from a very few people who have managed to get there and back, but that's
Yeah.
you wouldn't even know that anybody has got there
So,
and
like,
back.
say, not even Firewall knows that there are survivors on Earth.
Every time
Well,
I hear this, I keep
Firewall is a cellular organization, which means it's possible that there are someone in there. They're usually probably higher up or title.
I'm trying to determine if Marnie would be pretty shook by this or not. Pretty much.
I'm wondering whether there's a knowledge skill roll.
I've got post-fall history.
Of what? Fall history?
Post-fall history.
You can roll on post-fall history. I mean, we can readdress you having said that. I'm just saying that is a normal thing for you to say to someone.
No, this is a normal thing for someone who's used to
Query,
gaining...
because I missed it. What was actually said?
Well, the guy was having a bit of a turn over, not being on Earth, and, and Belle said, well, you're also not physical. How does that make you feel?
Okay.
Wait, if that is what we go with, he's about to murder all of you.
Well, shit happens because I didn't know, and
No,
I'm
it's
not
fine.
going to. I'm not going
You can
to
roll-
go
you
with
can
the
roll
GM fiat necessarily.
Does Marnie see the change in the guy's attitude enough to attempt to defuse the situation?
That's a 49. What is my actual post-fall?
We'll wait until she rolls to see if she actually...
Yeah.
How does Moxie work? Is it spent on a point-per-point basis?
No, you spend it...
Sorry,
carry on. You can spend it to flip a roll to make it succeed. You can flip it to turn a critical... you can turn a successful roll into a critical, or you can turn a bad guy's critical on you into just a regular.
Yeah, that's not going to help either way. Okay.
I've
rolled a 49.
The other thing you can do with it is to go first in combat.
All right.
Yep.
I got a 49, and unfortunately, my post-fall history is 45. So flipping won't do anything.
This is the first person that you've ever seen that claims to be from Earth anymore.
It's not like I'd know they were messed up, to be honest.
Give you one more shot. Give me a... What would it be? Cognition? Yeah, give me a cognition times 3. Just a straight cognition times 3.
The same chance, then. Okay.
Hey, it's still a second chance because...
If this guy tries to kill Belle, can I legitimately shoot Belle and call it echopraxia?
I will not allow that.
Fishy, I'm reconsidering our friendship.
Sorry. So, did you roll?
I did. Hang on.
At least it didn't seem too phased.
75. Apparently, my dice have decided, you know what? You're up the creek.
Yeah. No,
you're going to have to group hug this guy into submission.
I mean,
actually, you could.
You're a survivalist on Mars. You hang out in some of the bleakest places on Mars.
I'm not a survivalist. I'm a Martian rights activist.
But you're a Berthumian. Yes, you go and get the things, you dig into things and whatnot, but you're used to the idea of living in a desolate place.
Yeah, this is true.
So you just imagine, well, maybe that's how Earth is now. We can't see in there, so whatever. So you wouldn't know that he's going to react this way. Marnie can actually give me a kinesics to see the change in his face.
I do have kinesics as well.
Yeah, you can all roll me kinesics then, if you're facing it.
It's my single best skill.
It's kinesics.
Probably too busy focusing on my burger, to be honest.
I rolled a 3.
What's kinesics done on again?
Starts with a K. K-E-N.
For those of us who don't have it.
S-A-V.
K-I-N.
It's done on Savvy.
Yeah, I don't have the skill, so watch.
S-A-V. Savvy, or whatever it is.
You can actually have your muse do it at, I think, 20 or 30? What is the muse's general skill? Because muses have software for studying kinesics.
It doesn't matter. If it's 20 or 30, it doesn't matter. I rolled 94.
Okay.
Oh,
I rolled a 79 on my 60.
I
My
have
dice have gone, no, that's it, you've had your lots, you know.
Yeah. Yep. We're gonna have to fight this dude, I
The
think.
conversation was it. You know, the ego assassination, that was it.
Fish, did you roll kinesics?
No, I came to the conclusion that I was just probably too busy focusing on my burger
Oh, that's fine.
and not paying enough attention to him.
I love
Marnie?
Genevieve so much. I rolled a 3.
Yeah, you rolled a 3, you succeeded. It's cool. I'm going to tell you what you see on his face. He goes from comfortably enjoying a burger with people who saved him and are not attacking him to dropping the burger and reaching for his gun. And on his face is just stark terror, and his eyes just go fucking
I'm going to
wide.
nut him.
It's not just me who wants to kill Bell every time he opens
No,
his mouth.
no, there is something not right about this. I'm going to nut him. I've got unarmed combat.
Can I roll what's the, it's not persuasion, it's the other P thing.
Perception?
Oh yeah, it's persuasion. Yeah, it's persuasion. The one where I talk to people to persuade them to not kill other people.
That's persuasion.
Do you have psychology at all?
Of course I
Anything
do.
really?
Of course I do. I have psychology, I have psychiatry.
I would suggest instead of persuasion, psychology would be the best way to calm him down.
I have academic psychology. I have xenolinguistics. I don't think can help me. I have a deception that kind of.
Did you say psychiatry? Because if you have psychiatry,
I have medicine psychiatry.
That's probably going to be more applicable than psychology, because in this instance, a psychology being an academic skill, that's going to be
Not
knowledge.
academic. The medicine
Whereas,
one.
Yeah, the medicine is going to be actually
I
dealing
have
with people.
a 60 in psychiatry, so I'm gonna go with psychiatry.
Yeah, do that.
Yay.
I'm just
then-
gonna do.
Then start in on Genevieve. She needs the help.
I rolled a 13.
Okay.
I don't know how to roleplay a 13 because I do not have the people skills for this.
I mean, you don't have to role play talking him down and calming him down.
It's
you
okay. It's gonna be a bunch of patting, awkward patting. It's okay.
Just give him a hug. You just
Yeah.
just give him a grandmotherly hug, and that's what you do.
I'm just gonna smile nicely at him and offer him his burger. So,
Slowly, he is shaking, like shaking. Slowly sets his mask back down. Moves his hand away from his. Well, no, his gun stays near. His hand stays near the gun, but he picks up the burger and takes a bite.
Looks like you've had a rough day.
He doesn't respond.
Right.
It's been a pretty shocking news, right?
Are we on benches or are we on chairs around here?
There's tables and benches. There's tables and chairs. There's chairs. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to sit down, not near him, but basically across the table from him. Going to give him that space, okay? Because I can see he's got the gun on the table next to his hand, and that's fine. Under the table, my pistol, I think it's a shard weapon, possibly. Whatever the hell
Yeah,
it is.
it basically shoots a bunch of flashettes.
Yeah,
It's
I'm just
basically-
trying to remember what it's actually called. Yeah, my shredder is pointed
Shredder.
at him under the table, but I'm not making it obvious.
Are you going to be the first to shoot,
No,
like Han Solo?
no. But if he reaches towards that thing, looking enthusiastically in my direction, I'm going to take his kneecaps out.
Fair.
How far from the corpse of the murder beast are they sitting?
You look back at the corpse of the murder beast. It's gone. There was a lot going on. No one was paying attention.
They really need to up their system memory, don't they?
Yes.
Also, Fish never actually checked to see if he still has the stack.
Yeah, Marnie is very much holding on onto hers. Hopefully.
Both Magpie and Mickey notify you guys at the same time that one of the meshes has died, presumably the one belonging to the Predator, and a familiar mesh has popped back up.
Okay.
A lot more crackly and broken.
Yeah, where was she? Where did Fox
Oh,
go?
no, I'm not talking. Okay, so she's in here. She's at the table. She's just not eating, and she hasn't said anything. She's just trying to examine and watch. She's never seen someone from Earth either. No, the one that pops up again is the one from Murderbot.
Oh, the Murderbot's back. Now, is that relayed through the tactical
It's their
network?
muses talking to them, whether they relay it through attacking it or not. That's
You
Bloody
know,
respawns.
Marnie is definitely gonna relay it to everybody else with
Okay.
like she's just gonna do that whole reply all thing with just the head title being like important fuck, and then just the message. She's gonna do that.
Have I still
Forwardly,
got the head from the
twenty
previous
more
Murderbot?
well, when you shot
Well,
the
did that-
rocket launcher, you weren't
Well,
paying
that's-
attention to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I thought.
You could have at least get one limb to gloop it.
I mean, if Fish checked his pocket for the cortical stack,
It's probably not going to be there, is it? But at the moment, I don't think Genevieve would think.
no,
Actually,
she's just.
If she's just been told, has she been told that the Murderbot is back? She has.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
It's
So yeah, in that
Marnie
case, she will
notify
check and discover that what a surprise! There's no cortical stack there. I'm guessing.
Nope.
If I see Genevieve doing that, Marnie's gonna do the same with the cortical stack that she jacked from the Predator.
It's still there for now.
For now.
Odd.
For
That's odd.
copying, for copying purposes, Fish, you weren't there. You were just AFK. Belle is sitting across the table from the traumatized survivalist, and has his weapon out under the table. But the survivalist presumably does not know this.
You hope.
I hope. If he goes for me with a gun, then I'm going to shoot his kneecaps. But
Yeah,
just
and
for mirroring
Marnie
purposes, he's like this on the table.
So this is an original theatrical release in which Belle fires first.
Yes. We've had that joke, but yes.
Okay.
But also, hopefully, non-fatally.
Marnie wants to. So does she know that Johnny is from Earth? Did Johnny mention this?
Yeah, Johnny mentioned Earth.
Okay, then she's gonna be a bit shaken herself, and he's gonna be like, "Since when have you been on Earth? How was your life there?" She's just gonna go, continue her therapy session while also doing her best to like get more info on Earth for no reason at all.
The last thing that I remember was doing Overwatch over a couple of my other peers while they were.
Where?
I think we have bigger problems. We have more important things to worry about now than where any of us came from, how we got here, anything like that.
Aren't you surprised, Genevieve?
Honestly, I do not care.
No.
We are in-
Hold up a second, honey. Hold up.
We
a
are
second.
in a very bad situation which
Yes,
we need
we
to
are.
resolve as soon as
We're-
possible.
Yes, we are in a very bad situation. But if we find out where they got our knowledge,
It will make no difference. This is important information that will be useful to us after we are out. It has no relevance to our getting out in the first place.
I kind of agree with her.
For each of us, they have either stolen or copied our ego and put it in this simulscape. How they did that does not matter because it does not affect where we are, the fact that we are here, and how we are going to get out.
Oh, hold on.
We are in
This is a person from
a
Earth.
unique
How
system.
did they get their hands on an ego from Earth?
It does not matter.
Is
It makes no difference
physical
to
or-
how we get out.
Okay, if you say so.
Surely the only way it affects us is assuming that the same system that brought us in will be used to extract us.
Pretty much.
This is a unique system that we are in at the moment. It is not like anything that I've ever seen. It is not like anything anyone has ever seen. So we are operating in entirely new territory, and there are things about this system that I have found out now that I do not think you want to know. So let's take that as read for the beginning. There's no need for you to ask me too many questions. I'm not going to
be
answer
honest,
them.
questions are what I ask normally of objects that can't answer, so I have to find them more
Useful
mechanically.
question, yes, but do not ask me to explain the system we are in because I'm not going to.
Why not?
Is
It
it
might
gonna
help
be
us
disturbing?
escape.
Explain
is
it
a
after we
unique
get
system.
out.
I know
Let's
it's gonna.
come at this from a different direction.
You told that, Mashadi, but
Let's look at this as a job interview. You are coming to work for my company. Now explain to me your qualifications and experience with high-end simulscape programming.
I have none with simulscape programming.
Then how do I explain this system to you?
you
In simple
don't.
terms. The same way
In simple
a
terms,
mechanic
it is
might
a
explain
unique
how to-
simulscape system which is making very difficult and unusual alterations to your ego while you're in it, and we need to get out as soon as possible.
Okay, the question is, you say it's very complex, but
I
also we
think
know that it's running on. Oh, no, you said that it's performing complex adjustments. I'm sorry, honey. I'm really sorry. You say that it's doing the complex things, but also it is operating on very, very little energy. Like it's very much on energy saving mode because we figured that out before. What the hell is
Well,
happening?
I think that's not entirely accurate.
Oh God.
It certainly is lacking in
Also, my assertion that the system was automated is also not accurate.
Oh God. Okay, you found out a thing, and you're trying to not tell us what it is. So that's okay. I'm okay with that if you think that it will protect us. But I'm not sure if I'm more scared of the possibilities that I'm imagining from than with like the actual thing, because right now I am imagining a whole army expecting us when we wake up, and I strongly dislike this.
I will give you an idea to hang on to that I think might help. We are here because our egos have been copied into this place.
Oh,
Let us forget the idea that this is the only place we exist. This is a copy. By the way, Genevieve does not necessarily believe this. She has no evidence for this at all.
On top of them not necessarily believing that,
now Marnie is gonna take this at face value because she doesn't really have any sort of like high tech, high end skills that Belle and the rest do have. Like,
that's fine.
Yeah, so she's in full on like therapist mode. She's like, I believe you. Whatever you're saying, I believe you. It's okay.
So
you're okay. You're safe with me, honey. It's okay.
So Belle knows that you do not actually believe what you're saying necessarily. You just
Yep.
want to believe that. Also, you're going to need to say whether or not you were being protective or evasive with what information you're sharing.
It was basically you
both.
were evading, but were you evading with a protective motive, or were you doing
Yeah.
so with
Okay, her
a deceptive
thinking is
motive?
that if she explains what she has found out to you people, then you are going to react extremely badly to it. In universe, there is no way to say you will take lucidity damage.
Yeah.
That is basically her understanding. Is it affected her?
Yeah.
Finding this out has made a huge dent in her self-confidence and self-image. Let's put it that way.
Belle,
And
okay.
she does not want the people around her to suffer the same thing. Not necessarily because she wants to protect them, but because she wants them to remain useful and functional so that we can get out.
Belle, yeah, this is. I just rolled. Yeah, what I did, I just rolled a crit on my kinesics to read her body language.
Yeah. So basically,
yeah.
I think what that's going to tell you is that she is. There is deceptive behaviour going on here, but there is also, that sense of doing it for your own good.
Yeah.
So almost like a parental.
Yeah, I was thinking
combined with deceptive tells.
Okay, having stared at her quite thoroughly for a moment while she's doing these explanations and not responding and evading questions. So, I think that you are probably the closest thing we have to an expert in this situation, Genevieve. So we'll follow you.
But I have some related skills.
We will follow your lead on this situation, and then after we're out and everything is safe and happy, we can have a nice long chat. Seem fair?
Genevieve, I do have a question for you.
May
that
not happen.
doesn't necessarily go into requiring you to spill any details, so don't worry about that. You've said that we should not assume that we are the only copies of ourselves that are in existence. So, given that we are assuming we are purely copies, would it not make more sense for us to destroy the system that is hosting us rather than escape? Because that would then lead to two copies of us being out in the...
I'm unwilling to destroy the system.
I'm not 100% convinced that the two things are incompatible.
However, I would
if
like...
we can get out and destroy the system behind us, that would be ideal. My personal opinion, and obviously you are entitled to your own, my personal opinion is that if given a choice between escape and the destruction of the system, I will destroy the system.
That is a motive that I can thoroughly get behind. However, while the ideal situation is obviously the chuck a grenade in and slam the door behind us as we leave, even if it comes down to a last stand, destroy the place from within, I would like to transmit a data packet explaining the situation, because I'm not going through this and allowing whoever is fucking with us, and this is possibly the first time Belle has sworn, to do it again.
When Belle says fucking, do you mimic him?
I think I'm more mimicking Belle's body language rather than...
his body language, this is probably the most honest his body language has been, because he's very much, he is projecting, he's leaning forwards, he's mimicking posture as far as possible with Genevieve.
Yeah. Genevieve is obviously still exhibiting all the standard non-verbals, obviously with the restriction that she is in a synth morph, so they are more subtle than they would otherwise be. But the usual sort of physical tells are going to be there. But in between them, when she's not actively doing something that will trigger a tell, she's mirroring Belle.
Yeah, this is interesting.
So they're mirroring each other and getting
Yeah.
into a weird feedback loop.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
when we do get out, I would very much like to take the system apart. There may be some useful items to salvage from it.
Honestly,
I do hope
I'm
none of you would have any objection to this.
no. Also, Craig, excuse me,
I
but
do not
you
think that is going to be
seem
it.
a lot less loopy than you were before. Are you feeling any better, honey?
Much better, thank you. Yes, I
Yeah,
will say that
I'm
from
glad.
when I woke up, I was not my best self, and I
Yeah,
apologise for
I
any
wonder if
confusion or
you
discomfort I
pretty
may have caused.
unwell.
As I understand it, when we came through the door, there was a data refresh.
Oh, I see.
And,
So it's
and I
still...
think certain parameters of your ego may have reset at that point, so that the effects of trauma that you received previously has been partially, but not completely, eliminated.
That's good to know. So we
However,
could
there are
do that in a
also
way.
other problems with this. This system, as I said, is unique. This system is not just managing your egos. This system is altering your egos.
Oh,
Well, that can't be good,
fantastic.
can
As we continue to experience it, it has an ongoing psychosurgery effect upon the egos within it.
Do you believe that the
Everyone
egos
has
are being...
experienced
Okay.
this.
So,
One of you has experienced having stuff taken away from you.
Okay, so I have a pretty big skill in psychosurgery. Is there anything I can do, like, to find out more? I have like 75 on psychosurgery.
Wow.
Yeah.
To find out more, I mean, I can give you a better explanation of psychosurgery if you want to roll on it. That's fine. I mean, no, you don't
Yeah,
need to
like-
roll on
like-
it to learn, because this isn't a knowledge skill. It's a skill that you know how to do, so you have this knowledge. Psychosurgery
Oh,
can be
okay.
used and is regularly used to alter personalities, remove psychosis and various traumas. It is used to alter memories, and because it can be used to alter memories, add memories, or take memories away, it can be used to add skills related to those memories, because you have the knowledge of those skills due to having those memories. And knowing that, you think about it, because I'm pretty sure you shot the robot, didn't you? Because you got skills.
No, I got shot by the robot.
You got shot. You're the one that got skills taken away. So you
Yeah.
actually, memories related to that training that was removed, there's memories that are gone. And
Oh.
if you're talking about this to everyone else, about how psychosurgery works,
Yeah, I'm gonna
Four of
talk
them
about...
are going to have... Sorry.
I'm gonna be like, okay, that explains a lot, because see, when that gibberish robot shot me, I seem to have I have missing things, memories, knowledge. I'm a little dumber than before, if it makes
My-
Yes, that does make some sense indeed. I have I feel like I've improved in a number of things. I can now
I have a
understand
basic
why.
understanding of how to hit you with my tail.
And you have
Okay.
memories associated with training using that tail.
Yeah.
Mm.
Bell is
I see.
quietly going through his memories. Is basically attempting a form of self-hypnosis, for want of a better term, to try and track down what memories belong to the skill of freefall, which is something he never knew how to do. It's something he can isolate away from everything else. So he knows that if it's tied to freefall, it ain't him. So he's trying to track back in his own memory.
You have memory of jumping from an asteroid onto a ship.
Something you've never done.
Something I've definitely never done. No, what I'm
It's
thinking
definitely
of.
you, though. That memory is definitely yours.
No, it's not. No. And because it is so completely separate to... Because it is a totally new skill to him. He's not been in that situation. He's not used freefall at all. He's possibly never used freefall in his entire life.
Mm-hmm.
What he wants to do is to see if there are any, I suppose, joins. Is there anything around, any kind of feeling around those memories where it would show up the join between native brain insert?
Do you have any skill in psychosurgery?
Do I have any skill in psychosurgery? I have academic psychology.
Yeah. Without psychosurgery, you wouldn't be able to see.
Do you need help?
Yeah.
Because like Marnie is gonna say that she's pretty good at it.
Yeah. Okay. Marnie has displayed herself to be quite handy at such things. He's going to explain what he's trying to do, but he can only filter it through his own perceptions. So what he's going to say...
No.
Marnie can witness what you're seeing.
Okay, Shard, let the player finish what they're saying, because they're about to say what you're telling them that they can do. It's okay. Yeah, basically, exactly. He's going to ask for a direct hookup between their meshes. So he can show her the memories that he knows are not his, and she can use her psychosurgery skill to make the interpretation.
I may have a better idea.
Okay. You do not get to blow my head off and check
I am
the middle.
going to attempt to utilize the limited system access that I hope got myself.
Well, that makes me feel good.
Okay.
And I don't know in this setting exactly what the hardware would be, but I am assuming that digital reality SimulSense is normally handled via a computer with a server and an ability to plug in and put a person into it. And I think if that's what we want to be messing around with psychosurgery, then we need one of those. And I'd like to try and create one in this room.
Yeah.
Nice.
I love this idea.
Awesome sauce.
Do you actually do anything physical, or do you just do it with your head? Because it can be either way.
My head, because
you can do that whole movie trope. Yeah, you can do that whole movie trope where you bring up a screen and you just type in the air, or you can just let it happen.
No, I'm just gonna let it happen.
Oh, Genevieve is not a Johnny Mnemonic.
I love
if she was originally human, she might do the typing in the air thing, but
yeah. This is actually more her native environment.
You look like you're dancing.
Yeah, it's like I just imagine Genevieve doing like the whole anime trope of like putting her hands on her head and like concentrating.
Only if her hair then does the whole inexplicable exploding out as if in the high wind.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I think what she will do is she will look at them so that to make eye contact with the two of them so that they are paying attention to her. But she won't do it to the other people in the room, so they may notice what's happening. And then the thing will appear in the corner. And then she will say, would that be useful?
Our local expert, then.
So you guys have been having this conversation while eating and trying to chill. I'm going to say that you get a D10 of lucidity back.
Oh, thank for that.
Basically, we're trying to
I'll let you roll for your own lucidity.
Yeah.
Ooh, so you hate me enough to make me roll my own, huh?
You can ask someone else to roll for you.
Yeah, roll my lucidity.
I knew that was coming.
Well, if you want. What am I rolling? D10 was that?
Yep.
8.
Thank you. Nice. Also, I don't think I've ever seen Dark City, so I don't know.
No.
particularly the director's cut of Dark City is an excellent film.
Yes, but though there is memory and how it forms both your personality and your skill set is an incredibly important part of Dark City.
Yep.
There is a point at which somebody undergoes training to use a skill expertly in the space of about 4 seconds because their memories are retrospectively rewritten.
Yeah. They just rewrite memory, and it's an amazing film. It's really, really good. It has a very strong cast. Kiefer Sutherland,
Rufus Sewell.
Rufus Sewell. I've forgotten his name.
Richard O'Brien.
Richard O'Brien, yeah. And also, it got massively panned by people who didn't pay attention, who kept saying, "Oh, look at that! They stole the sets from The Matrix." In fact, the rooftop chase scene at the beginning of The Matrix is filmed on sets that were built for Dark City and then used when filming The Matrix. And all the Matrix fanboys were out there saying, no, it's just a rip-off of The Matrix. It was made before The Matrix, which then borrowed its sets. But apparently it was a rip-off of the film that was made after it, which is really clever.
I mean, the Matrix fans are pretty shitty in general.
Yeah, I like the Matrix movies, but the real fans are a bit...
Yeah, the ones who are like, I am a fanboy.
Okay, yeah, fans fine. Fanboy.
Human being.
Okay, so
Enjoy it.
So, are you guys going to make use of this?
I would say yes.
You now have the ability to put Drutt's character into a simul sense inside a simul sense.
Yep.
Heck yes.
I would also, however, suggest it's the Matrix fans are fine. There are some very dedicated people.
I own all 4 Matrix movies. I love them. They're great.
Yeah.
I watched probably some of the Matrix movies.
I would point out
When I
the
say all 4,
time.
that's 3 movies and a collection of anime.
I'm going to say yes, and you plug me in.
Great.
I'm
gonna let you guys.
I'll give him a clap with 4 of my tentacles while as this thing appears.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
Yes.
I'm truly impressed.
6 out of 7 suckers. I mean, come on. It's gotta... Would definitely conjure again.
Johnny's when they go over there, asks Genevieve. So, isn't this what we feared Titans would do to us if they took us to begin with? And he's starting to get that freaked out look in his head again, in his face, and you guys are seeing it because you already saw it before.
Marnie is gonna intervene because
Marnie's busy in the corner. This is
yes, she's busy. Yeah. She's a tad occupied at the moment. Sorry.
I will be honest with you. I was born after the fall. The Titans are history for me. I have no direct experience.
So the Titans are gone, technically.
The Titans are not in my world. I do not think they are gone. But I don't know.
You do know that the Titans, the fall is a big thing. The Titans have left Titan technology behind that still kills people in quarantine zones. So, okay, maybe someone pulled me up from where I was, and I'm in a simul space to heal.
Is there any chance that you could have ego cast from Earth?
I don't remember actually reaching an ego caster. They've all been shut down. I've heard rumors of some that were...
What is the last memory that you do recall on Earth?
It was a military facility that we were able to clear out and lock down. Me and my group, we actually backed ourselves up to some systems there just in case.
So that is the backup. That is where you came from. That backup,
Possibly.
someone was able to access the backup in that facility. Maybe military facility. Maybe the ego cast happened. Maybe it was automated and was intercepted. So you are probably still on Earth.
Well, that sucks. But I'm here. This
I'm
is
sorry.
not. If I'm here, that means that I've been forked. This is.
If we can get this fork out of this intact and into another morph, you can have a life in space off Earth.
Okay. Okay. Well, I did get a heavy boost of free fall from. I don't remember that. Well, I do now, because he did a big hit of damage on the guy.
Have you? Do you have any gaps? Have you lost anything?
Well, he does have. His left arm is barely hanging. He's still able to use it, but it's.
Yeah, so he probably has.
Just can't think of what they are.
Yeah. Well, if you have not got them, you would not know, would you? But if we can get what is left of you out, functional as you are now, we can work on maybe knowing that you are on Earth. Once we get you into another morph, we can work on finding the original, bringing you off the world.
There's a lot of us down there.
Then we are going to need to work very hard to get as many as possible off.
Okay. Okay.
But first
Okay.
we have to get out of here. And
You
we have
think
to
it's possible
avoid
to get out of
all
here?
of it. We have to avoid taking any more damage. It seems that is how it works. My first thought, I had assumed it was because I killed. And there was a transfer of data at the moment of death, but maybe not. Maybe it is just damage.
Can I hear that conversation or not?
This is
You're sitting right there. The three of you, the four of you, because Fox is just sitting there watching and listening.
I think
Fox
it might
worries me.
be just the, as you call it, transfer of damage. Because before you came into the room, I fired the launcher thing I got from the robot in the other room. Well, that did something to it, and all of a sudden I found that I suddenly have memories of unarmed combat that I shouldn't have.
This makes sense because Marnie said that she had lost some memory, some skill. So the transfer cannot be at the point of death because she has not died. But
Yep.
she was hurt. So
Oh wow! When we were, I think when we were fighting the robot, I felt that I had a similar sensation. Like there were more things that I could pick up in the surroundings that previously I might have missed.
So damage that we do to other things, other egos in here, do not just hurt them in a simple sense. It damages the actual ego. So everything we do risks destroying that person, this copy of that person, forever.
So everything we do here is changing us from who the we that is out there was. So we're not even who we are anyway. We're damaged persons.
I know how to fight with claws and with a tail that I do not have. I have a basic understanding of psychosurgery. I have never trained in psychosurgery.
So
would you consider getting a tail now that you can fight with one?
I do not think it would suit me.
There's an image.
It's another prehensile limb. You can never have too many.
Well, I understand.
Okay,
your
I shall
point
stand
of
up
view,
on
and it
two
is
of my tentacles and wave
completely
the
valid. I have never considered it before, but maybe I will. Maybe this is a transferable skill. Maybe I can use this knowledge of how to use a tail. Perhaps I can, in some way, turn that into the knowledge of how to use an octomorph.
Indeed.
Meanwhile, what are the others doing?
The other two are looking at the time.
This is a wonderful conversation.
If we can elevate you to be able to use more of your limbs and then into a morph that has even more,
Are you? Wait, this conversation is going down the route of Genevieve actually murdering all of you slowly
and gaining all your skills. I don't know how to use 8 limbs. My God, Craig, what's that over there?
Bam! Schnicked.
So, Drut and Alexia.
Yeah, I'm going to go and try and get set up with this SimulSense machine.
Okay.
I'm also thinking it's 10 o'clock and either we need to break
Yeah, no,
again or
this was
we
going
need
to be the
call
last
it.
thing. I just want to.
Yeah.
This will be the last thing that I say.
Okay.
I just want to roll basically on the psychosurgery to see what she's talking or what he's talking about in terms of the memory.
Do you want a psychology roll from me so I can get it focused, and then a psychosurgery roll from?
If you roll a
Marnie.
psychology roll on yourself and succeed, I'll give her a plus 20 on her psychosurgery.
That's what I was hoping for. Okay. Oh, okay. 45, and that's a 22.
Okay.
So yeah, crit.
Then you get plus 30 because I'll give the crit success an extra 10.
Works for me.
Cool.
Ah.
We're all looking. Ears are pricked on Fish's screen.
Ears.
Yes.
Are you rolling?
Rolling psychosurgery.
Alexia?
I rolled an 18. Sorry.
Bloody hell.
Okay.
Out of
You rolled an 18 or an 18?
18 with
18,
an N.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, with what he was trying to describe, in terms of that memory and how it fits against other memories, whether it's smooth and seamless or just like sewn in, you can see when looking at the actual diagnostic, looking at the memory itself, because you can look at the memory and how it fits together. It looks like it belongs there. It is seamlessly attached, except for a few markings and the fact that the memory in between other memories where it's sitting, it's like when you add a picture to a cartoon reel. The only reason that it doesn't look like it belongs is because it's a different picture.
Is it a weird situation where, if for want of a better term, you check the timestamp on it?
Yeah.
He now has two memories, two different memories at the same time.
Yeah, apparently I was in stakeout outside a mob-owned restaurant and simultaneously attempting to board a ship.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But I can't rely on those kind of contradictions being that obvious.
No.
So, now that the actual characters have figured it out, or at least Genevieve did, you were right about the whole Frankenstein monster thing.
Yeah. You're going to end up with just one ego in here, and it's going to be a blend of everything.
It's going to be the main personality of whoever succeeds the most with all of these other things.
Yeah. Wacko.
Terrifying.
Mm-hmm. It's pleasant.
But that's not the end, but we'll find out what happens at the end.
Yeah.
Equally terrifying.
Yep. Okay.
Well, I
This
hope
is
that
measuring
you
along
guys enjoyed
nicely.
that session.
Oh, very much so.
Thank
Yes,
you for
indeed.
running it.
Thank
Yeah,
you indeed.
it's all coming together
And thank you
into
for
a
giving
nice
me the
focus.
chance to be a non-confused Craig.
Yes! It's so nice.
It was fun to be Craig, but I thought if I'm going to do this for the entire evening, everyone's going to get pissed off at the stuttering and the nonsense and the
Yeah.
garbage and the.
No,
Is he paying attention?
I'm sorry, but we love Craig, however confused he
I
is.
just wanted to
Craig is
kick Craig through the
perfect.
door so I could fix the problem, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanna hug Craig with all
Yeah.
of my not enough limbs.
Craig rocks. I think we like Craig a lot. I'm just glad that Belle and Genevieve have kind of buried the hatchet a little
I
bit.
don't know, Genevieve's just largely ignoring him, except for
I think Genevieve wants to bury the hatchet in Belle's back.
Hey, she is welcome. If she wants one of Belle's memories, you can knock yourself out.
She got through that last section quite nicely by largely viewing Belle as
Experimental
a
subject.
test subject
Yeah.
and as a set of data to be interpreted, not as a person.
Yep. I know.
God, I hate Genevieve.
I love Genevieve so much.
I'm going to really like Genevieve, I must
Yeah.
admit.
Genevieve
Oh, no.
is going to be interesting.
She's fantastic, and she's very smart, and she's very stressed.
Yes.
Yeah.
But thanks to letting Grat make the roll, I'm up to 19 lucidity now.
It's
Knock it.
okay. It's okay, Genevieve. I'm gonna catch you and I'm gonna make you take a therapy session with me.
Yeah.
With the lucidity, that still scares me.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
Next week is
Next week we are back to Witcher. So early in the week I will put together a what has gone before, so people know where they are, and I will bung that up on the Discord. And then if people have any queries or anything they'd like to ask or anything they want to suggest, then they can do so.
And then the week after that,
After should be
Swords of Slaughterdeep.
back to Slaughterdeep.
AD&D.
Oh, there's going to be a Wednesday session, 0 session for park building as
Okay.
well.
Yes,
Oh, yes.
Mutant Year Zero.
Yep.
That's this Wednesday or is it next Wednesday?
That's... I need to check actually now because my calendar may have shifted. I was available when I said yes, but now I need to check if I am.
I'm fairly certain that he has skill with claws.
Yeah.
And probably with tail as well, to be honest.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know that he actually makes any use of that tail. It's there.
Yeah.
It just gets in the way.
Cats, they don't use their tails consciously. Their whole tail thing is completely subconscious.
That
Yeah.
cat doesn't do
skill.
anything consciously. Trust me. That cat does nothing consciously. He just bimbles through life.
Other than beg for food. That's a very good
Yeah,
one.
he
I
bimbles
think
through
that
life
is
and
pretty
things
much him.
happen to him.
I think he thinks he's a hobbit.
Oh.
The whole thing about 6 meals a day when they can get it.
I mean, he's living with a wizard, so that makes sense.
It does. Okay.
What do you reckon?
Gorgeous. So, I think we'll call it there. And thank you very much, Shard. This is really going nicely.
Yeah,
Indeed, thank
Enjoying
you.
this a
I'm
lot.
loving this. It's brilliant.
I'm
Yeah.
enjoying this a lot, yes.
So, thank you.
Thank you to our viewers, and
Yep. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all the
Bye, guys.
art. Just yay. And goodbye.